It's a story about a ID crisis. Used to think my only future was the night shift. Brain on ADHD, autopilot. And through it all somehow I kept smiling. I can never find the right words to say. Only a handful of family ever sees my face. But I'm only human, don't we all make mistakes? I'm drowning in my head again, and my thoughts don't want me to win. They show compassion made of plastic, and I don't wanna be another tragedy, but I'd rather be dead than a skeleton dreaming about the things that he couldn't be. Cause I'm too impatient to wait for dreams.
Good evening and welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight you're joining us for a very special event. We're doing an in-house Rocket League tournament with veteran and new talent looking to make their names known and maybe potentially for the new players, get a little bit of scouting done in if they ever want to try to join the program. But they have a tough road ahead of them going up against some of the best players Boise State has to offer. So it's going to be fun to see who we see is going to rise to the occasion, whether that be plays we expect from our current players or someone who completely surprises us. My name is Jacob John Palmer. I'm your host for tonight. I'm joined by Audrey Runa Norris to call all of the action. It's great to have you here with us, Runa. And we were talking just before we started just of the incredible kind of diversity that we have just in all the fields that span college here. You were going around talking to the players and getting information on them. There's a lot that all these people study.
Yeah, not only that, but there's like a ton from all different years. It's not just freshmen. We've got a lot of sophomores and even like people that might be about to graduate, which is kind of cool to see. Just such a array of different age groups and people that might be a little bit better, a little bit worse, just depending on where they come from.
Well, we are going to get into the event tonight and show you how it works because it's kind of a special set of rules that we have going on tonight. Each of these players right now have been competing in what we've been calling the SAT, if you will, to kind of drill them on the fundamentals, see how good their mechanical skills are. So they've been tasked with giving a bunch of different tasks to do and seeing how quickly that they can compete them. I actually do believe that we have our own Doc Haskell on the field to kind of tell us about what's been going on and everything that's transpiring tonight.
Thank you, Jacob and Audrey. I'm down here on the floor right now. We're getting ready for the big draft. We've got the opportunity now to see some of these scores up here on the board with our T1. And these scores are pretty fabulous. Hi, it's me here. These times are pretty fabulous. So the fastest Boise State finishing time was, in fact, Gill. And so when we bring up that T1 again, we'll be able to see all the scores of all the players, and he'll be able to decide who's going first on his team. But while we wait for that T1 to be brought up, the order will be Gill, the Hush-Durtho combination team right here, Lions, Instinct, Bannock is last. But also, Bannock is both 6th and 7th in his pick. I'm regretting the decision now to use blue ink on this whiteboard in a blue lit room.
Do you want me to toss you a red pen right now?
I've got a black one. We're going to make this work somehow, some way.
You kind of, just for everyone watching right now, you were talking about just kind of the trials that they are doing. What have those trials consisted on? I kind of teased that it was Rocket League fundamentals, but what exactly?
So we can bring up that VT1. We'll be able to take a look at it. In essence, we have a unique approach. There we go. It's called the BSU SAT. It is a training pack with 50 shots in it. You play it for 100% and time, and they represent the 50 most common situations you find yourself in collegiate Rocket League. Everything from clears to infields, verticals, redirect shots that have to go in, right? Wall rebounds, dribbles. You got to have that controlled touch. Of course, back wall and backboard. Any type of off the wall control. Basically self setups of multiple kinds. And then there's a couple in there just to see what style you got. We like to see those. They complete them for time. And so with our T1, we'll be able to take a look at those and bring up the times for this.
I believe you said that Gill, we don't know the exact times quite yet, but we do know that Gill finished first overall. So the people who get the top times are going to get the choices. We keep getting kind of the players, and here we go. The players and their overall times. We can see that Gill did finish first.
Gill, you've got the ability now to choose first. But some of these players are pretty close. We're going to take these teams of 3. We're going to bracket them up. We're going to play some games. So my question to you is, who are you choosing first?
So we had an event last week where I got to see a bunch of these.
Hold on. You got to speak.
So we had an event last week. I got to see a bunch of these guys play. And with the first pick in the BSU Rocket League draft, I select Styles.
Styles is going to be the first choice. Styles is a sophomore, by the way.
Excellent. Okay, if you want to bring Hush up here, we'll take Styles. We'll add him to your team. Congratulations, Styles. You've been drafted by Team Gill. Hush is going to be up here next. amazing, still on the board. The fastest time in the BSU SAT, Ethan Bohm, is still up there. But who do you want? Styles is no longer available.
I think I'm going to have to go with Hey Rico.
Hey Rico it is. First pick for Team Hush and Durtho. Okay, congratulations. There was not nearly enough applause for that.
Hey Rico.
But hopefully
hey
there
Rico
will be.
is a
Applause,
freshman
applause.
this year
Okay, thank
who
you.
has an undeclared
And we'll
major.
take Lions next up here.
All right. Durtho also kind of a new
So,
hire to Boise State.
Styles and Hey
Making a
Rico
lot
off
of
the board.
really
Lions gets to
interesting
pick
plays so
next.
far.
Ethan Bohm, I
Already
cannot
invitational.
believe, still available. Really the number 1 seed in this draft, still available.
have some of the top
or
picks
anybody else
available.
that you see there.
Well, I guess I'll take Ethan.
There we go.
Ethan's
All right,
finally
going
picked
straight
up.
onto his team. May have just picked up the
Ethan
best
is
value
a
in the
third
draft.
year in
Instinct
our
is next.
finance program this year.
Plug your ears,
Just got
everybody.
picked
Instinct is
by
famously
Lions
very loud.
team.
Heck yeah.
Not really. So, Styles, Hey Rico, and Ethan off the board. Zigpig, the highest remaining. Cheese. Rizky. Killshot. And Popo, who did not get a time, might be a sleeper in the draft here. Your choice.
I think I'm going to go with Cheese.
Okay, Cheese is on Team Instinct, and we'll take Baynock up here next. There needs to be more applause. Let's get to the applause coming through the system, too.
So really all of
Okay,
the
there we go.
varsity players are the ones that are
All right.
really competing
There we
right
go.
now.
All right, Baynock. Now you get 2 picks in a row. You get to determine your
non-varsity
entire
players the
team. Now,
fastest in the time
Popo
trials.
did not
And
was
it's
not able to
interesting
make
'cause
the
they're
run,
not
but
going
might be the
directly
sleeper
with
in
the
this draft.
fastest times
People don't
always.
have
Sometimes they're
intel on
picking
him.
out people based on what they've seen
And
previously
Popo it
as
is.
well.
Okay, you got Popo, and then you get
And
your
Baynock
next
goes for the
pick.
complete wild card in
who's that?
Popo, which we don't know
Risky,
any
kill
information
shot,
about because they have no
Hivesons.
time.
Zigpig is still available with a 12-minute time.
Oh, Zigbig.
Okay.
Zigpig, a pretty
Let's
high
go.
placer in
Okay,
terms of times.
Zigpig, congratulations. Baynock is
Compared
set.
to the 2 before him,
Make sure you
he's
add those
within
folks as
20
friends.
seconds of
Okay,
both
we'll
of
take
them. And with
Instinct
Hey
back
Rico,
up here.
It's just a 5 seconds difference, which is kind of incredible how close these times are, even within so many different people.
So we've got
You
kill
really don't
shot.
see anything
We've got
above
Risky.
20.
We've got H. All
Still
available
have
to you.
HBNS available.
I'll take HBNS.
HBNS, okay. Make connections. He's on the island there with you.
HBNS
and we'll take Lions
is
next.
going to be the next choice.
Yeah.
Looks like he's on the same team as Cheese, so he's going to be on Team Instinct.
HB and an S is actually
Okay.
a 3rd year as well.
Still
He's in the
available.
business
Risky and
major.
kill shot.
Now Gil's back up to get his final choice. Remember, he had first pick, and he chose Styles.
It is a tough one, isn't it?
I'll go with Risky.
Okay, Risky it is. Congratulations. Your team is now complete. Now, I'm going to actually ask Gil to come back up here.
Back up already.
Now, here is the unique option. Is there anybody whose name is not on this list that should be? Who? What's the name? What's the name? Wyatt? And what was your time, Wyatt? 15. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. So, you got Wyatt, and you've got, who am I missing? We got Rizky up there doing the math. Kill shot. Wyatt, kill shot.
Just those 2?
Yep.
Give me Wyatt.
Okay. Wyatt it is. And we'll put kill shot on the Hush Durtho team. Now, I think it's really important to point out that they can only play one of those 2 players at a time. And if there's any bad behavior, we'll make Hush play with a controller or we'll make Durtho play with a keyboard and mouse. Which I think that would be awesome. Okay, so that's going to do it down here. We'll throw it back up to you. We'll get some of these teams and lobbies ready to go.
Alrighty, thank you very much, Doc. And that's a pretty interesting lineup that we already see. Basically, it's just spreading all the varsity players out. So each team is kind of going to have their de facto team leader in the varsity player.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes, because the varsity players are used to playing against each other, but all of these new players have no idea what to expect. And so it'll be an interesting couple matches to see just how that, like, the new chemistry will go between these different teams.
Well, one of the things that will never fail you, whether you're playing on a new team or old, are Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League. We'll go before we get into the tournament. That's going to be don't miss, minimize your distance traveled, and show off your skills. Those are Doc's keys to the game, brought to us by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. That looks like it's going to do it for the first stage of this event, which was those time trials. Everyone has been drafted in. We will be getting into the bracketed stage. And overall, based on everything that you've been seeing, what team kind of stands out to you, maybe in terms of its varsity player? You know, you've had a little bit of time to kind of look at some of the varsity players of Boise State. I mean, who most excites you?
I think really, I'm excited to see Instinct's team play right now. I've seen Instinct play a few times. He's got really solid plays, but I also am really curious to see how the wild card player goes. Just we have no idea what kind of time we're going to get here, and so it'll be really interesting to see how that actually plays out. He kind of has the mystery advantage, too.
Yeah, we don't quite know why there was no time. Might have been a connection delay or something or other like that. And I'm most interested to see the team of Hush and Durtho that has been brought on there. You know, that's kind of the most spread out of varsity players that we have. But I think Doc mentioned that only one of them will be able to play at a time. And Durtho has been making such a big statement, one of the newest players to the Boise State Esports teams, but even the veteran players on stage, you know, after they're not on stage right now, just in general when they're practicing on stage, they keep going, wow, I just can't believe how good Durtho is. He's just got such good mechanics. So Durtho is definitely going to be one that I think could take it all the way to the finals.
Yeah, I've gotten the chance to watch Durtho play a few times, and I totally agree with that. I do think it'll be interesting to see how the dual captaining will go, because that could either benefit them or it could mess it up a little bit. So we'll just see how that has to play out, too.
Yeah, sometimes it all comes down to just having a good team leader, and sometimes just too many voices in it. You always need your shot caller and then the other people to follow up on that. But on Rocket League, it is also a little bit different in just terms of how everyone communicates, because it's not like you have the one person who's going to shot call where everyone is. Everyone's constantly communicating where they are, if they're going to go in and commit to taking the ball, whether they're going to try for the goal. Overall, all sorts of stuff like that. And it's also a lot more laid back in its comms, too. You'd think Rocket League would have very loud, chaotic comms like Overwatch does, but they're all chill when they're playing, and I don't realize how they do it.
Absolutely. No, I totally get that. I can imagine with the ball flying all over the place, you'd think that it would be chaotic as everyone's trying to call out where they are and where the other players are. But it also, you know, that's kind of the benefit. If you can keep your comms quiet in such a chaotic scenario, it definitely benefits you in your ability to actually control the scenario that's going on.
Well, now that all the teams have been set up, we will set up the bracket and be back with the first competitions in our in-house Rocket League tournament. You are not going to want to go away. We've got some exciting gameplay coming up.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Rocket League trials taking place in the Boise State Esports Arena. A mix of new players and returning veterans are going to be fighting out in teams that were drafted earlier on tonight from time trials that each of these players took part in. Each of the varsity players got a chance to craft their own team, and now with the bracket set and all the teams ready to go, we're ready to finally see some Rocket League tonight. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer. I am joined right now by Audrey Luna, who is calling all the action with me tonight. And now as we get ready to actually head into the match, this is the time where we really kind of talk about the fundamentals of this game. What makes good Rocket League play? And the first thing I'd have to say is rotations.
Absolutely. You got to be able to rotate around that map, especially with everything flying around. I think especially what's going to be really important tonight, though, is just general, team, trying to figure out, team play is going to be a little bit harder because they're new teams that haven't played with each other before, so they're really going to be wanting to do a good job with their call-outs so that way their setups can be effective for whether they're defending or they have to go and try and take a shot at the goal.
And one of the ways to definitely just see if that is working or not is trying to see how many double commits are brought out. If you see two people going for that ball at the same time, expending boost, expending time, it never really works out well for the team that tries to do it. So we'll see if we have any of those hiccups. Another thing I have to say is I'm going to be interested to see how adept these teams are using boost, because the varsity players are best at using boost to their full ability, trying to make those aerial plays, trying to use the boost just in little taps just to slightly adjust here and there. But if another team gets in your way and starts taking the boost, especially out of your side of the field, that can spell doom for you.
Absolutely. The couple times that I've gotten the chance to play Rocket League, I've found that boost management is really hard sometimes because you just don't know exactly what you need when depending on what the other players are doing, or sometimes you overcommit with your boost and then you go flying over the ball and another person just takes it straight into your goal. So that'll definitely be really important tonight for them, just figuring out the best way to use their boost and ensure that they can keep their resources up.
We are going to be getting into the first match as soon as we can. We'll see which varsity players kind of are duking it out between each other. Might also be a little bit of a pride battle. I mean, they all are teammates, but in teams there's always that joking around, teasing each other, wanting to do maybe an exhibition match against each other just to get bragging rights for the next few days before the serious competition. One other thing I have to say that I'm going to be looking for also is just the general side control, something you want to keep your eyes on. Just the raw math, the raw arithmetic of how long are you keeping it in the other team's side of the field, how many opportunities are you advancing to open your own goal. We usually do a statistic at the end of each match. I don't know what we'll do tonight, but it shows us kind of the general percentages of that side control. And that can really tell very few times does the team with less side control actually get it.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd say that the surest way to win is to make sure that the ball doesn't end up on your side. After all, if you keep it out of your side and you keep scoring in the other team's goals, then there's nothing really they can do about it. So side control will definitely be important, and I think it'll be interesting with what we talked about with double commits, whether or not these teams are able to get set up in a way where they can effectively defend and keep the ball in the other places, other side.
But even if you set up everything perfectly, even if you have the perfect play that you're trying to do, the demos are the wild card that can completely throw off your entire game plan.
Absolutely. Oh, I was playing a couple of days ago, and I was just trying to practice and learn, and I got caught off guard multiple times, and I think I demoed 3 times in that game, and it was the most frustrating thing ever because I had been perfectly set up to get the ball in the goal. My teammate had passed it to me, and I was just getting ready to just do a little hop, bump it in, and then out of nowhere another car came, and I was gone, and I was like, well, okay.
Well, they're certainly nice to get, but you also have to use them at the right time. Just kind of going for a demo for the sake of it can put yourself out of position, leave your own goal open, and that's basically the situation that none of these teams want to be at. They never want to leave their own goal back. You're going to want to crucially be watching for that rotation to back post to make sure someone is always in the position where they can be driving forward when they're trying to save.
Definitely, yeah. I think that'll be interesting to see how these teams play with that, with their rotations and where their positions are. I think it'll be fun to see if they start favoring certain things, because I know in different team formats, people, when they're first starting out, really try to favor one thing. But in Rocket League, when it's moving so fast-paced, it's not always a good idea.
All right, we're going to be jumping in. We have Team Gill versus Team Hoosh. So Team Gill, like I was saying, has chosen Styles. And Wyatt's Kid is going to be the first one to also make his debut. But it's also Durtho, the one we were talking about. Remember, it was going to be either Hoosh or Durtho competing because they're both varsity players. Only one of them can play right now. And Durtho's going to be the one to open things up. And already you're kind of seeing, you know, a lot slower gameplay, none of those quite insane aerial plays that we've seen before, because that takes some time working with your teammates to get worked out.
Yeah, so far, though, we've got some really decent aerial shots, like not really complicated ones, but some solid passes, and so far not a lot of double commits as Styles just tried to throw it off, and Wyatt gets a nice shot towards the goal, but there's actually some solid defense going on, too, with Rico staying in the back there to like prevent them from getting just a nice, easy, clean shot out there.
Gill to dribble up the field with the pass over to Styles. That's beautifully played. Pure teamwork. Picture perfect. Just the quick flick, the give and go. Durtho trying to save there, but ultimately just rotated a little bit too far up. Wasn't quite in the back post position that he wanted. Now Team Hoosh going to get Team Gill. Yeah, Team Gill, excuse me. Looks like we got the team sides mixed up here. Team Gill is, in fact, the orange team, whereas Team Hoosh is in blue.
Durtho with a solid pass into just a combo for the aerial.
Styles is going to try to recover and dribble up the field. Gill is waiting for the pass, but Hey Rico is going to run interference before the pass can go through. Now Durtho answering back in midfield towards the side where Wyatt is waiting, and Gill sees the pass. Can he capitalize on it? He sure can, and that's 2-0 Team Gill. You can also see just a quick look at the players on the stage right there competing. You can see Durtho right there. It's just staring right into the soul of the camera as we get ready to head back into game.
Oh, with a solid pass from Orange Team there, just preventing Durtho from getting his hands on it as they're just trying to get a couple, like, looks like setups there towards the goal as Gill is backing up, looking ready to get a good, solid defense. And Wyatt is coming up to potentially set up an aerial, but Rico and Durtho are just doing some solid defense there, keeping the ball out of the goal and pushing it back.
And I think you can see Team Gill is already much more cohesive as a unit. You see so much stuff spread out, assists, shots on goal between basically all of them, whereas Durtho is just trying to do all he can to just basically prop up his team. But if you're not being able to communicate with your team, he tries to take front posts, but it just flies right over him. You see Durtho can't rotate back fast enough. You just got to be calling that stuff out with your teammates.
Yeah, going back into the next altercation as Durtho did manage to get it to this time, but the Orange Team was able to push it back towards middle as they're trying to get another setup for the goal.
Now back to midfield. Wyatt's Kid doesn't have anyone to pass to, so Hey Rico just steals it away from him. Gill does look like he's trying to set it up in the center for Styles for the redirect, and Rico with another steal moves it to midfield. Wyatt's Kid still trying to keep the side control going for Team Gill. Might try to do it himself. Hey Rico with barely a save is going to keep it 2-0, but all the side control, all the momentum, all the pressure is forcibly being pushed onto Team Hoosh from Team Gill. They might get a fourth there if Styles can get it, and another save by Hey Rico. But now Team Hoosh needs more than saves. They need goals.
Yeah, Durtho and Rico right now are working together to keep the ball out of their side, and so far it's successful as Gill is just trying to keep it and get it back to his other teammates. Style is dribbling down towards the goal. Is he going to get it? Yes!
Hat tricks for him. He's going to be the first one of the night to claim a hat trick. Remember, Styles was one of the first picks in the draft by Gill. Gill getting the top time, just got first pick, and so he really kind of was able to set up kind of a dream team already with him and Styles, and Wyatt's Kid is also showing that he can synergize with the rest of the team. Team Gill, just by winning the time trial, looks to be the team captain with the team to beat.
Absolutely. Right now, they've just got some really solid team play, and they're able to keep it. But Durtho does finally manage to get a goal.
Yeah, Durtho has been playing his heart out this whole time. Hey Rico is able to set it up for him. Gil can't elevate up quick enough. Durtho does get the first goal, and with about 90 seconds left, 3 goals isn't unheard of. Still a tall order to ask for Team Poosh, especially if they get scored on here.
Absolutely, especially right now where they've just got to get some solid setups, while Orange Team is just got some really good team play already going. But Rico and Durtho are working together, and oh, there they go. They do manage to get another one.
Well, Durtho is starting to stage a rally, drive his team back within striking distance of equalizing. As you can see, he's hanging out on the front post again there, no one on back post. That's just trying to work out those rotations, make sure your team is competing at its best, and it takes time to iron out all those wrinkles. As Styles is now trying to set something up, is going to drive to the corner where Durtho is waiting. Rico gets the better of that 50. It's going to head right to the goal. Follow up by Hey Rico again, bouncing off the post. And all of them rotate too far up the field. That leaves a wide open goal. We were saying that was one of the dangers. And it might spell the end of Durtho's chances.
Yeah, Durtho's team started to get some really solid momentum there with their team managing to get those 2 goals back to back. But if they don't manage to turn it around right here, I don't know if these 3 goals are attainable.
Next kickoff in favor of Styles. Gil keeping it going, trying to get the one final nail in the coffin. Styles up, and it gets pushed over to the side. Wyatt waits, tries to get the side control, but again, almost sets it up for Durtho. Gil just is barely able to save. Now I'm going to head to the corner. Rico, though, setting up for Durtho. I like the setup there, but Durtho was just a little bit too late there. Could have been a little bit early to drive it into the goal. But it can often just be a game of split seconds. And again, the open goal might be the downfall of Team Hoosh.
But Hey Rico did manage to get a solid defend in there at the last second, although it's not going to give them enough time to get those 3 goals that they need.
That's going to mean Team Gil wins in pretty outstanding fashion, making it 5-2. You can see everything pretty solidly in favor. The only thing is both teams kind of use the same amount of boost, but in terms of kind of the most 2 important metrics, shots on goal and side control, Team Gil firmly in the lead.
So far, though, Blue Team still did have some solid side control there. There's only about a 10% difference, which, although was probably their downfall in this match, that's a very easy thing to try and push up and change for the next match.
All right, as we wait for the next match, like you saw on the scoreboard, this is going to be a best of 5, which is just kind of the standard that we have set in for Rocket League. Not too long, not too short, still has a big opportunity for Team Durtho to recalibrate. Looks like Durtho might be leaving the stage, so we might be seeing the swap in for Hoosh now. The team's namesake, we'll see how he can do.
Yeah, I think so far that was a really solid match from both teams. They had some really good, like the aerials weren't as like off the rails as we've seen with just general varsity, but I think both teams did a really solid job just pushing forward. We had some really good team play between Hey Rico and Durtho. They just kept bouncing them back to each other, passing back and forth. Same thing with Gil and Styles, and even Wyatt came in sometimes. They had a lot of mixture of just really solid rotation, and it was really fun to watch them just bouncing it back to each other, managing to get some really good combos in there.
Well, the question now is the other team going to be able to recover from what Team Gil has quite the outstanding lead? I'm surprised that they were able to bring it in within 3 goals. Team Gil seemed like they were going to run away with it, and they're going to try to run away with it yet again with Styles just scoring right as the game starts. Not even 5 seconds in, and a quick dunk down. How do you do? Now Team Hoosh. Ooh, you got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, as we go into the second part, Wyatt manages to just get the ball again as Hoosh is going to, get demoed as Gil goes in for another goal and manages to get that one too.
This is just so well played. I mean, it's demos like that trying to clear out. And hey, Rico, that's just a consistency issue, unfortunately. you just got to be a little bit earlier trying to read the plays. It's just something that generally comes with experience and just playing the game over and over and over again. At the end of the day, it's all just physics working out for you, and you got to be aware of how you can time your saves.
Okay, Rico comes in with a solid pass, and then Gil back on the ball as always, as Styles is setting up what looks like with trying to hope that Gil gives him an opening. Just chasing the ball as Hey Rico goes in for another solid defense. His timing was good that time, and he got managing to turn around and maybe go help Hoosh out as Wyatt just trying to get another thing on goal. Gil, though, is not giving up. He just keeps trying to get back on that ball and set it up for his teammate as a demo occurs between Kill Squad and Gil, maybe giving Blue Team the chance to just push forward back into the other side, but Gil manages to bounce it back.
Yeah, that's ultimately the problem with that pass that we saw. Just kind of passed it directly over his teammate, and after that, the ball just really had no purpose being that far up the field. The other team was very easily, Team Gil very easily cleared it back. And now they're going to try to go for yet another goal. Ball has a lot of altitude. Here we go, gets a little bit better of that one, trying to send it. But Team Gil is matching them shot for shot here and not really allowing anything across the midfield marker. Gil trying to get a goal, having to go up against Hoosh and Hey Rico, and that's a big thing that I don't necessarily like to see, is both of them, they're both very close together, clumped up. And I understand there's a little bit of that when you're trying to defend, but at the same time, it's just a little bit too, I'd like to see a little bit more spreading out in the field, because if you're starting to play too much bunch ball, that can really allow the other team to just play over all of you at once.
Yeah, Gil trying to go in for another shot, but misses as Styles goes in instead and manages to get another goal for Team Gil.
I mean, look, with Hey Rico just chasing Hoosh here, there's no one left to save that. So it's always nice to try to not always commit into one play, but make sure you're available for the backups and follow-ups, because if the other team is organized enough, they will definitely shoot on your goal a lot more times than just once.
Yeah, Hey Rico tries to go in for the goal there, but his timing was a little off as Gil manages to recover, and Hoosh immediately bounces it away from him with a little scuffle going on as Hoosh is trying to get it into the goal, but Gil is just not having it, trying to push it back onto Blue Team's side. Styles comes in as Hey Rico pushes forward, and Styles is trying to set it up for Gil, who does manage to get it across the field, waiting for someone to come up and help him, as Hoosh, Kill Squad, and Hey Rico do bunch up again, hopefully managing to keep the ball away, but Gil is just passing it back and forth between Styles and Wyatt.
And it also doesn't seem like there's a lot of reading between Team Hoosh going on right now. I'm seeing what a lot of looks like, you know, them just, they were just trying to chase after the ball and seeing where it was going rather than being where the ball was being aimed and just being able to steal it away. So we don't want to see too much chasing. We want to see a bit more predicting. Field's going to get cleared out. Just allow Gil to do his thing, dribble it right toward the goal. A little bit too narrow, and the shot just bouncing off the post, allowing it to be cleared back by Team Hoosh, who hasn't allowed another goal and might open things up here with this demo. Trying to set it up. The follow-up is just going to be narrow. They try to set it up again. Hoosh, the ball is too high. He's going to stop. Try to get it back toward the goal, and Styles clears it out at the last moment.
Yeah, Hoosh was trying his best there, but just unfortunately none of his team was in the right setup area to be able to get the ball in the goal for him, as Styles and Wyatt and Gil were just able to wait patiently and bounce it out every time he tried to go for it. Unfortunately for them, Gil has it now, and he's trying to push it back as Styles sets up for another combo with Hey Rico and Hoosh trying to get back there, hopefully to try and get it out. And they do manage to push it forward with only Gil on the goal, but unfortunately he's been really good at defending it lately, so we'll see if they manage to get it back.
Okay, you saw an icon you do not see that often. Saw the hazmat mask being brought out there because Kill Squad is just being so toxic right now in terms of demolitions. Look at that row of bombs. He just basically hasn't been doing anything else. He's just been looking around the field saying, oh, where are you? You're playing? That's a problem. I'm going to take you out right now. Try to clear off the field for the rest of my team. But demos, as flashy as they are, sure aren't goals. Team Hoosh looks like they are probably going to lose this one with no goals to their name, but 3 goals for Team Gil.
Yeah, Kill Squad is coming around again, perhaps going for another demo as Styles and Hoosh are just volleying it back and forth, trying to get it one last goal in as Gil is going for that ball, and that looks like the end of that one for them. If the ball touches the ground, of course.
And it certainly does. That's going to end it for round 2 of this best of 5. Team Gil looking like they aren't faltering at all. In fact, Team Hoosh not even able to get 1 goal. At least they got 2 in the last round. So Team Gil seems to be continually ironing out all of the issues they might have with each other and working cohesively together, and it's paying off for them. They just need 1 more to close out this match.
Yeah, the Team Gil this time definitely had some better side control. As we saw, there is now a 20% difference between them. And I think overall, just the passes, like you said, they're just starting to work out the kinks as the passes just became more accurate and better overall. But Blue Team did have some really solid plays at the beginning. They just started to bunch up near the end where they were able to just be picked off by Gil and Styles as they were just comboing right above them.
Yeah, you have to wonder what the comms were like for that team during that last round, because it certainly didn't seem like there was a lot of calling out between locations. If everyone's just kind of following each other, trying to chase wherever the ball goes, that is not the sort of play that we have come to expect. And I know that Hoosh and Durtho are such talented players. It just might be a thing of maybe the draft not going in their favor. We'll just have to see if they can pull things together, because they definitely have the talent to match up against Gil's team. But it's going to be a tall order. They have to pull off a reverse sweep. We're ready to head into Game 3 to see how things turn out between Team Gil and Team Hoosh/Durtho, if you will, to see who will be winning the first round of this bracketed stage. And already Durtho looking to change the narrative, getting the first goal and putting Team Hoosh in the lead for the first time this night. Ready to head into the next kickoff. Wyatt Kick gets the better. Eiviko's waiting in the corner to make his counterattack. Is going to pass it to Durtho. Looks like much better passing for Team Hoosh, at least for the start. Gil is going to get demoed also, so forcing Team Gil to slow play a little, and then Styles gets demoed as well.
Gil is back now, making passes again to Styles as the Durtho comes in, trying to bounce the ball back into the other side, waiting for a teammate to potentially come in and help him. Styles back in the air, once again pushing it back as Durtho responds. We've got a lot more back and forth going on this match so far, with a little bit more, looks like, coordination too.
Gil gonna try to dribble it around. Durtho sneaks it by 2! Expertly played, not even needing any elevation. This does a little bit of a slide into goal. Finds the equalizer for Team Gil.
This time, Hey Rico does manage to get the ball past him as Durtho is able to get into the air with it as Styles bounces it away towards Gil, who's going to knock it back into Blue's zone, potentially, hopefully, with a waiting defender if the rotations are set up again. And Styles went in for the aerial, but unfortunately was bounced off by another teammate, or another player.
Wyatt's Kid trying to eke it into the goal. Durtho now on the counterattack to dribble, showing that great aerial skill. And it's going to be the only other varsity player, Gil, to stop him. Get a demo onto Hey Rico, cleared out for himself. Now he's going to try the dribble, not midair, and it gets pushed off to the far corner. Now on the reflex, Styles is able to stop the momentum somewhat. It's going to be going up against Hey Rico, and with little boost, Styles still finds the angle he needs to push it off to the corner, give Team Gil the time they need to clear, and now look to get in the lead.
Durtho back in the air as Gil tried to get the ball over to him, and they're dribbling it into Orange Court potentially for a goal, but Styles does manage to get in front of them and prevent it from happening as Hey Rico is trying to reset for his team as Orange is pushing back into their area. With this opening, Hey Rico is going towards the goal and manages to score.
That's very important for Team Durtho. For them to control the momentum, kind of uncharacteristic for Team Gil. They all just went way too far up the field and were left chasing. So now, Team Hoosh has gotten back into the lead. Team Gil looking for the equalizer yet again. 2 demos by Durtho. That's going to clear things way out. The problem is the ball's in their side of the field. That gives plenty of time for Team Gil to respawn. Now try to save. Styles is able to successfully do that. Pushes it off to the side of the field. Durtho is going to play off the wall and corner to center it. Beautifully played. Can they follow up? And Hey Rico just shoots it wide off to the other corner, and no other goal for Team Hoosh.
Durtho and Kill Squad went for the defend, but were just a little too low to be able to push it back as Styles manages to just knock it right over their heads into the goal there as the... Yeah.
And not really much you can say at that point. You just get outplayed like that. I mean, you see, I just think the problem here is I just think there's too many demos for Kill Squad. I think, you know, you're just... Yes, they're exciting, sure, but it really seems like in terms of trying to set up and pass to each other, it's really only been Durtho and Hey Rico who are like trying to make an attempt to pass to each other. And that's basically affecting this whole game and almost making it like a 2-on-3.
Yeah, although Kill Squad has gotten a few solid demos that have put in like important setups like out of sorts. Orange Team has been able to work around the fact that they've only got 2 players on defense sometimes, with Kill Squad being out in just a different area, not set up to help. However, Durtho is managing to keep it out as Styles and Gil are trying to push it into a spot. Same with Hey Rico, but Wyatt does go in as Durtho blocks it and sends it back towards the Orange Team while Styles is pushing it back towards them and gets a demo on Durtho.
No boost left to spare, and Gil sees the opening. It's all set up, trying to get the redirect, but that would have to have been a very tough angle, so they're going to reset it for themselves. Try to let Wyatt's kid score. He is unable to do so, gets credited with his 3rd shot on goal. Now with less than a minute, still tied 2 apiece. Much closer than the other games.
Gil and Wyatt setting up for another goal as a blue team manages to push it away and give it to Hey Rico, who is trying to get it past Styles right now, hopefully able to set it up for Durtho, who comes in but just barely outside of the goal, giving it back to Gil, who has to get past Kill Squad and set it up for his team, getting ready to reset as Styles tries to shoot it near the goal, but it goes just straight towards Durtho. And Gil again with another setup with Durtho just responding in kind, sending it back.
Oh, and we are going into overtime for the first time tonight. Team Gil has gotten kickoffs right, goals right off the kickoff. They tried to do that yet again. Hey Rico just barely going to be able to save. It gets Team Gil a bit of side control earlier on, but now Hey Rico to clear it back. Answered by Styles. Now Wyatt's kid moving up the field with the pass over to Gil. It's just a little bit too far to the corner though, so Gil has to adjust, and Hey Rico steals it away from him.
Yeah, Styles trying to get it away from Durtho and Hey Rico, but he's just not able to as they keep bouncing it back towards him, just trying in a last-ditch effort to get it into the other goal and win this round. But unfortunately, Durtho is demoed, and now they've got Styles setting up again for potentially Gil or another player to come in and take it away from them.
Wyatt's kid to go up against Hey Rico, almost is able to play around Gil. Styles with a clutch save. Now we head back toward the goal. Can Durtho just dunk it in? It bounces off the backboard though. Team Gil has got to be thanking their lucky stars for that opening. They still have a chance to close this out and win it for themselves, and Gil with some good dribbling pushes it all the way back to Team Hoosh's goal, to Team Hoosh's side. And now can they defend? Going up with the 50 against Durtho, played around. Durtho almost getting it again! Durtho has been cheated 2 times in a row.
Once again, Durtho is going back towards the other side with Hey Rico backing him up, helping him get it past. But unfortunately, Gil was waiting there ready to push it back to blue side as they keep passing it back and forth in a volley. just trying to find that opening where they can score it in. And Durtho is getting set up, just waiting for Styles.
They got it! That does it. Team Hoosh rotates too far up the field, leaves their own goal wide open. Kill Squad can't rotate back. In fact, Gil himself running interference, just kind of driving in front of him, making sure he can't defend. Rather intense for a 3-0 in terms of overtime for that deciding game, but Team Gil is going to be moving on this bracket. So overall, we can see more of the players playing right now. Just a hello, howdy to everyone who is up on the arena, the stage. A lot of the new players, we wanted to get them up on stage so that they could kind of experience the excitement of anything. So as we prepare to move into the next match, what are your main takeaways from Game 1?
I think overall, I was kind of surprised by how quickly the team play evolved in just like the first and second game there. When we were watching Team Gil, they just immediately started clicking and were able to get solid combos in between all three members. And Team Blue, to the same extent, was also able to do that. They just had a couple mishaps where they just either left their goal too open or sometimes bunched up a little bit too much, which allowed Team Gil to just bump it right over them or dribble to the side, as we saw that one time.
Well, as we're ready to get the next matchup, I think we'll take a short break and be back with more of this Rocket League tournament. Actually, no, we're just going right into another game. I have been informed. No rest for the weary. And these next two teams, we actually look... Okay, you know what? Production is just trying to make my day as worse as it can be. We are, in fact, going to break after all. So, be back unless we decide to stop in the middle of the commercials, in which case I don't blame you for being confused. But we will supposedly take a break right now and be back with more Rocket League action.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Hello and welcome back into the Boise State Esports Arena. As you can very obviously hear, I am not Jacob Jim Palmer, and this is Noah here with me today. Before we get into the action, I am your host, Colby Alloway, and with me is Noah to call all of the Rocket League action. Right now, we are going to go right into Instinct versus Baynock in our continuing Rocket League tournament for Boise State tonight. So, what sorts of plays are you hoping for from these two teams?
Well, I'm not really that big of a Rocket League fanatic. However, from what I have seen, I like seeing those plays that are, going off the sides, doing those flips, using your boosting properly to really just get those angles against those defenders, and just on offense, making sure you're kind of just sliding past the other team.
So we're really hyped from side control here. Is there any specific players that you're looking to watch? Because Instinct and Baynock have been very prolific for Boise State, and they've done a fantastic job. So if you had to just place your bets on one team right now, what would you say?
I think they're pretty evenly matched. If I had to give it to one, maybe I would say Baynock for no particular reason. I just like his name better. But I think Instinct can definitely stand a chance. I think this is anyone's game, especially at this point in the tournament.
Oh, definitely. And so we have a lot of new players tonight. But just from what we've seen, Instinct and Baynock, so far, Instinct their particular specialty seems to be scoring. They're a very accurate scorer, and they do an amazing job doing that. Baynock is typically the one that has the fire rotations. They're always back in the goal when you need them, and they're always ready to push or to assist or to try to make the goal themselves. So as we're going to get right into this game here, these are some of our replays. Team Hoosh, Durtho getting the score there. I do have to say, Durtho almost had a shot monopoly on some of the games that he played. He was definitely the one out there taking the risks, taking the shots, more so than other members on the team there. Team Gil, though, I think Gil was the main scorer for them. Though we did see a lot of Hey Rico as well, especially on assists.
Yeah, no, it definitely seemed like Durtho was really just trying his best, but fortunately it didn't seem to be enough to bring back Team Hoosh. Team Gil really just kind of dominated both games 1 and 2. Game 3 went into overtime, was a little bit closer. And we'll see if Team Hoosh can come back from that, because I do believe there's a losers bracket, right?
Yes, and Styles definitely was one of the other big scores that we saw there. I think Styles is the one that we have the most replays of in those scores there in production. And then you can see this setup. This was a phenomenal dribble by Gil. I'm so happy that we get to see this because that was just amazing. The level of control you have to have over your car to dribble it for that long and past 3 members of the enemy team is just not something that you see in every game of Rocket League.
Well, you probably know that better than I would, but I think that we will see more of that level of play coming down into this next game, and especially when Team Gil plays again.
And we're getting set up for this game right now, doing a little bit of rotation, getting some people up on the stage, because this is some of the first time some of these players are on Boise State. In the Boise State Esports Arena. As you can see up in the stage there, we even have some other games going off in adjacent rooms. There are a lot of people right here in-house tonight, and we're trying to get them in all kinds of different positions. So as someone who's relatively new to the Boise State Arena yourself, what would you say are some of the biggest things that excited you coming in?
Well, coming in, working on the esports team, I think definitely just looking at the backside of the production has really just been phenomenal. Seeing how all the directing goes, how much work is put into making sure that production goes flawlessly, cameras are set up, that we make sure that we have the gameplay going. It looks like, speaking of gameplay, it looks like we are going into the gameplay. Looks like HBNNS starts it off with a big hit. This just barely misses in the goal. And
Instinct HB, new duo. That was an amazing assist there. We'll get to see if they can maybe work on that teamwork a little bit and get a goal next time. Hoosh is going to send that right, or no, that's not Hoosh. No, it is. Excuse me. They're going to send that right over into the orange. Instinct now has possession over the ball, but Team Hoosh is out here, but Team Instinct is out here kind of like cornering the orange goal.
Yeah. And it looks like Instinct is just trying to get something towards the goal, but it looks like it just gets knocked away from him. So he's just really trying to find an angle. Seems to be missing, but actually manages to get the corner angle, gets the score there. Let's see a replay of that.
And we were talking about it from the very beginning. The main thing that we see Instinct do a lot of is these amazing scores. That one was a particularly aerial one, and he has a tall order trying to top that amazing dribble that Gil did earlier in the evening. But I do suspect that that will not be the last time we see Instinct score this game.
Yeah, and it looks like Team Instinct is just trying to get it onto the blue side, but this is another open goal, and Instinct just airballs it. There's absolutely nobody to defend. I think sort of a defensive blunder there on the side of just everyone on the side of Team Hoosh.
I definitely do have to say, was not expecting the Instinct goal to come that soon, immediately after.
Yeah.
But amazing job there.
Yeah, and it looks like Team Hoosh is trying to push it on the side of Team Instinct, but again, it just looks like Team Instinct is just getting cornered over here. Hoosh is kind of... Excuse me. Hoosh... You have to excuse me. I don't really play Rocket League, so I am getting a little confused here. But it looks like Hoosh tries to make a shot, gets blocked off by Team Instinct, and it has been on Team Instinct's side of the map for quite a while here. We'll see if Hey Rico can try and make a goal here, but it looks like Instinct just keeps on pushing it further. Momentum might get pushed against Team Hoosh.
There's a little bit of a breakaway there. Instinct, now we are back in the orange. It looks like Hey Rico's trying to pass it around to Hoosh. We're seeing a little bit of circling of the goal, but the communication's not there. And she is able to get the clear, and up, just barely gonna miss that goal there. Still over here in the blue, we're looking to, Instinct is looking to make this goal.
Yeah, and it looks like Instinct and his team is just playing with this food. HBNNS manages to get the score while Instinct distracts. I think that was beautiful coordination right there. Gets the detonation. Beautiful shot.
Instinct HB is the new duo. I mean, we said it here tonight. Here it is. We're witnessing the birth of this. So right now, Team Hoosh, you're really uncomfortable. You have 2 minutes and 43 seconds on the clock, which is a reasonable amount of time to score 3 goals.
Yeah.
But it is really uncomfortable because 3 goals, you're going to have to be getting about 1 goal every 30 seconds, which is a really hard thing for these teams to do. And they don't really have a standout scorer like Instinct brings to Team Instinct, of course. So they're going to have to rely on communication and rotations, which is really hard to do with a team formed tonight.
Yeah, and it looked like Team Hoosh almost had a shot there on Instinct's goal. Just manages to not get it. So it looks like we have just sort of barely missing these shots here that maybe could help close in the gap, or shut the gap between Team Hoosh and Team Instinct right here. But at the pace it's going, it doesn't look like Team Hoosh will be able to make this gap get any closer. It looks like it might just get wider. Seems like Instinct and HB just playing a phenomenal game right now. But
Team Hoosh was not able to rotate back into their goal zone in time to get the defenders there. They were so focused on the offensive that they were just able to roll that right on in there.
Yeah.
And that will be the first goal that they need to start trying to catch up here. Team Instinct got a little overzealous, punished for it.
Yeah, again, it seems like most of these goals are just too many cars on the wrong side of the map, and then the goal's left wide open. Oh, barely not shut in the goal there. It looks like Instinct is providing a little bit of defense right now while Cheese is trying to get an open goal. Looks like he will miss that shot. Instinct is here, is just juggling in the air, dribbling that ball, and it looks like it is now on Hoosh's side of the map. This is a little scary if you're Team Hoosh. You got 1 minute left. You need to score something.
And especially with that 1 minute, we are not on track of the goal scored every 30 seconds, right? Now with a minute remaining and 4 goals to make up to win, I do think now might be the time to start kind of resetting and going next. Because in a best of 5, the first round can functionally be your warm-up round. It doesn't actually matter that much. Team Hoosh can overall come back from this.
Yeah, it looks like Hoosh is making some pretty good saves here, but saves are not goals. And it looks like we do have a detonation, but HB just scores. It looks like Cheese sets it up just for HB to score, gets that detonation. Well, I guess the detonation was after the fact, but that was a beautiful opening by HB.
And now Team Instinct is up 4 to Team Hoosh's 1. HB is definitely showing that they are a force to be reckoned with and not to be outshined by Instinct here. Actually currently has double the goals that Instinct, or double the shots, excuse me, that Instinct has right at this moment. Definitely out there taking risks, taking shots.
Oh, it looks like Instinct heard that comment and took it personally.
Definitely.
Almost got a goal, but barely saved on the side of Team Hoosh. And we got 10 seconds left. Unless Team Hoosh can work miracles, looks like this first round will be over. This first map, whatever you want to call it. And looks like Team Instinct will take the first game in this best of 5.
And it looks like that is going to touch the ground. But again, round 1, Team Hoosh can definitely come back from this, right? And what Team Hoosh needs to do to come back from this is, hey Rico, as you can see there, lots of shots, as much as HB, who is one of the primary scorers for Team Instinct. Lots of shots being taken. I would say, hey Rico just needs to be a little bit more accurate there. Hoosh themselves and Kill Squad, you gotta get more shots in there. If you don't, you can't make the goal if you don't make the shot. And I think that is something that some of the members of Team Hoosh are currently struggling with.
Yeah, it seems like also if you looked at those stats over there, it seemed like Team Hoosh, it was a pretty even match, but the score didn't look that way just because, like, especially those first 2 goals, just it seemed like freebies, giveaways, just blunders on the side of Team Hoosh. Team Instinct just use that to provide momentum, and then really at that point it's just a defensive game where Team Instinct just needs to make sure that they don't get scored on. Other than that one goal where the goal was left open on the side of Team Instinct, Team Hoosh was not able to make a coherent offensive play and close that gap to make it a little bit closer. So we'll see if they learn from their mistakes in Game 2. Any other comments you have from that game?
The other big thing that I really want to highlight is HB and Instinct seem to be just kind of a natural duo just from the very beginning, right? And that's really hard to do because we're making these teams, again, tonight. And that natural duo, I think, has put Team Instinct 1 round ahead.
Yep. And speaking of which, we get into the game. It looks like Durtho is in on the side of Team Hoosh. We'll see if he can be the difference maker, bring it back in the second game, tie it up. And it looks like, again, Instinct is just kind of just dodging everything coming out on the side of Team Hoosh. Isn't able to make a shot, will get away from the ball. Durtho with a nice shot gets blocked. And it looks like this ball will go back on the side of Team Hoosh. This is a little scary for them again.
I do think that Durtho is exactly what Team Hoosh needed right now, somebody who's willing to take the risks, take the scores. And with Hey Rico still on the team, I think now would be the time, if you're a Team Hoosh fan, this is kind of your comeback here. Cheese, however, is going to Cheese is going to pass it right over to Instinct. That's dangerous for Team Hoosh there. They will not be able to get the goal, and things clear right back into orange territory. Things are kind of bouncing around back and forth in the middle here. No, Durtho's going for that goal. We'll see if he gets it.
Oh, he tried so hard.
Barely going to miss it off of that backboard, but I don't. Nope, they're done. Instinct gets the clear, passes it on over.
Yep, and it looks like Cheese just tries to make a shot here. Doesn't get the angle, just barely misses outside the blue goal. But now Durtho should have control of this ball, or at least partly control. It looks like, I can't tell who the other person is, doesn't have the name tag, but it looks like Cheese manages to just get a far away score. There were people on the side of Team Hoosh that could have prevented that goal, but it looks like it just got away from them at the very end.
It was definitely schmoovzy. I do have to say, Cheese pulled some schmoofs on him. A little bit of some kind of movement, getting it around. Though I will also say that goals like that are usually a rotation error. People weren't prepared to go back in time. And again, things like that are going to happen with teams that you've made tonight. Like, you can't expect the team play to be perfect right now. The natural duo of Instinct and, like we were saying earlier, that's an amazing duo, but not every team's going to have that. And it looks like somebody's going to have a score right there. That's Team
looks
Instinct.
like Team Instinct already pulling away with another 2-0 lead. So we'll see if Team Hoosh can bring it back. There is about 3 minutes left on the clock, so definitely time to even it up. Definitely time to make plays, but we'll see. It looks like, again, just this blue side is getting pressured. That's a nice save right there.
It almost wasn't enough, though. Hey Rico is there, right to take the ball, takes the shot, their Team Instinct is going to get the clear into the blue there, and now Durtho has possession of the ball. Somebody needs to pass that over to them. We'll see what we can do. The ball is kind of passing back and forth between the two teams right now. Neither one of them can really set up to do anything.
Yeah, but it looks like, Team Instinct almost got scored on. Cheese juggles the ball up in the air, gets pushed away, and it looks like this will sort of be an assist towards Instinct, who is trying to make a play here. Oh my goodness! But that is a nice save, but again, just barely the angle is off there. Hey Rico trying to find something, and again, this is getting just pushed on the team aside of Hoosh. And it looks like Durtho shot and a miss.
Durtho doesn't even get the shot, is immediately blocked. I think the air is Instinct's domain. I mean, that is the first time we've seen somebody air dribble for that long and that accurately, and it was barely slapped out of the air there. I think the more this ball is in the air, the more Instinct has an advantage.
And it looks like, yeah.
With the drown score.
Yeah, Durtho, let's see what happens here. Bounces it off the wall, gets the shot, and just barely nudges it with the tip of that car.
And if he didn't, that would have been saved. So there that is, Team Hoosh on the board now, 1-2, and 1 minute and 49 seconds. This is definitely winnable for either team, and Team Hoosh seems to be hitting their stride. Team Hoosh is a late game team. I think right now, Team Instinct, a little uncomfortable, even though they do have a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, and it looks like HB is just kind of standing there. Baits out the save there, but just barely too high on that shot. So HB almost makes a phenomenal play. It looks like Kill Squad is trying to get something, and Cheese just gets the open. I don't know what happened there.
Cheese stayed there and was looking for the goal, and the rotations for Hoosh weren't quite there, and so Cheese was able to re-follow up even though they missed the first shot. Fantastic job. 1 minute and 22 seconds. Team Hoosh is getting more and more uncomfortable with every second that ticks down on this clock, right? The stakes are different now that Team Instinct has scored another one.
Yeah, and it kind of seems like Team Instinct over here is kind of playing with our food. Even Cheese, who didn't really have that good of a game in the first game, it seems to be stepping up big time in this second game, and it really looks like this is the Durtho show from the side of Team Hoosh. Oh, just barely misses that goal there. That would have been a nice morale boost. 1 minute remaining, so we'll see if Team... And it looks like Team Instinct just explodes this lead. I don't see any way Team Hoosh makes it in less than a minute for this second game.
They really do need to try to do something, though. 54 seconds, it's a really tall ask to score that many goals in this amount of time. But if they're able to score, if they're able to do that, they will, if they can't win this, they'll be in the position of having to pull off a reverse sweep, which is a position that no team wants to be in, because it means there's absolutely no room for error. So Team Hoosh, even as time dwindles, they really can't afford to just give this up.
Yeah. Speaking of which, looks like Durtho just manages to finesse that ball in. Let's actually see this replay. Yeah. Wow. Comes up from the top, just barely nudges that ball down right when it was at the right height. So that is a nice play by Durtho.
We said they couldn't just give up. Durtho says, I have it, and goes ahead and gets that goal. They have 15 seconds if they want to tie this up for each goal.
Yeah.
So a big play needs to be happening right about now for enough time.
Tall order, but it looks like Instinct might just...
There's the big play.
And the save didn't come in time, and Instinct just had basically an open goal there. The save, not there. Just a little too late.
I do have to say, though, when you're in the position, I think that was... It was unfortunate that Instinct kind of got that final score, because I do think that is the final nail in the coffin here. But the strategy of going all offensive when you need to get 2 goals with 15 seconds each is totally a valid one. If all you need to do is score, like, you lose whether you're down 1 or down 4. So at some point, you just need to go aggro. And I do think that's what Team Hoosh tried to do, but they were punished for it.
No, definitely it is a valid strategy. I mean, they do that same thing in hockey. When, you know, they pull the goalie and they just get everybody on there. But it looks like this round will end? Yep, it looks like Team Instinct up 2-0. So we'll see if Team Hoosh can make that reverse sweep. And it looks like this game, as opposed from last game, was basically everything on the side of Team Instinct. More total shots, more boost used, more map priority, just barely. It was about evenly matched. But it looks like this is Team Instinct kind of getting comfortable with their team. Durtho tried his best, but unfortunately wasn't enough to bring back Team Hoosh 1-1.
I think Team Instinct's overall aggression and the constant making of those shots is put Team Hoosh in the position where some of their players couldn't even make any shots on the goal. And that definitely, again, you miss 100% of the shots in this case, don't get to take because the enemy team is so aggro. So I think the key here will be starting as aggressively as you can, third round, because at this point, there is no room for error for Team Hoosh. Like, this is it. Now you got to put on your big boy pants, and you really need to win around here if you want to stay in this. And then you need to keep digging deeper after that to win consecutive rounds. The reverse sweep is always a glorious thing to watch, but it's an incredibly hard thing to pull off. And again, bringing back what they need to do to pull off the reverse sweep, be aggressive before Instinct can beat you to it.
Yeah, definitely. Team Instinct, as you were mentioning with that aggro, it sort of seemed like Team Instinct just really is getting into their zone. So coming into this third game, Team Hoosh, big tall order, has to get that reverse sweep in order to win this match. I do believe that if they lose this one, that they're actually out for good. Double elimination. I'm not too familiar with the format, but it looks like we are getting into the game.
I'm going to call it in this first minute. If whoever scores in this first minute, I think is going to be able to win this round. And I'm going to go ahead and say that. That's my call, committing to it. And then as we go over into orange territory, Team Instinct was definitely threatened. Team Hoosh is having that aggression that we were looking for, really. Hey, Rico sending it in. They're there for the assist. Hoosh is back in this game. And they're kind of like bouncing it around back and forth, Team Instinct. But Team Instinct is going to get the clear, and now things head over into the blue. The longer Team Hoosh lets this sit in the blue, the more likely it is Team Instinct will score. So they're not going to leave it in there very long. And it goes right back over, back in orange, back in blue. We're going back and forth.
Yeah, and it looks like this is another aggression by Team Instinct. It looks like Team Hoosh will get a little bit of relief here, but it looks like shot barely missed by the side of HB, and Hoosh is just trying to play defense here. Instinct is bringing the ball, is dribbling it, is trying to play mind games, and it looks like HB will follow up with Instinct to get that score. So that was a beautiful assist there. Instinct, HB just shot the ball over Hoosh.
So as we set up at this next 50-50, Team Hoosh really needs to win this. Team Hoosh is going to go ahead and do that. We're over into the orange territory now. It's back up in the air, Instinct's domain. HB has the ball, going to miss that shot on goal, but they're still in this. They're still circling Team Hoosh's goal right now, and now they get the clear back over into the orange. Hoosh is looking to score. Kill Squad there for the assist. All members are over in that corner. This is mostly a ground ball right now. I think if someone was able to get it up in the air, like Hey Rico's attempting there, like exactly like that, it goes right up in the air. There's nobody there to follow up to make that shot for Team Instinct there. And as we set back over into the blue, we're kind of passing back and forth here. Hoosh, they're just barely not going to be able to get to the goal in time, and Instinct is going to score. We are now up 2-0.
Yeah, so just under 3 minutes, score up 2-0. I feel like we've been here before. So we'll see if Team Hoosh can even it up. But we'll have to see who gets the aggressive posturing here, because it seems like that is the game that is being played. Instinct just dribbling the ball, barely gets saved by Hoosh. And it looks like Team Hoosh is just sweating. Instinct and HB just follows it up from Instinct to get that goal. This takes us up 3-0.
So as we go in here, this next 50-50, I think, will determine whether or not Team Hoosh is able to make the comeback or not. They win the 50-50, and if they're able to score off of it, we can take these 2 minutes and 46 seconds and do something with it here. And they are going to win the 50-50. Fantastic job. We're set up here. HB is going to be unable to block that ball. It's going to go straight over into blue territory. Team Hoosh is now on the defensive. Instinct and HB, the dynamic duo, are looking to score right here. Cheese is going to defend the Instinct goal, however, against Team Hoosh.
Beautiful save.
And now it looks like we're going to go. No, we're still circling orange goal.
Yeah, that was a nice save by Cheese earlier. Manages to prevent that goal from being scored, so it stays 3-0. But now it looks like, as you were saying, it was in orange territory. Now it's in blue territory. This is where Team Hoosh is not comfortable. They've had those goals scored on them. It looks like Instinct is just applying so much pressure. HB and Instinct are just being the phenomenal duo to just really score these goals. Instinct neutralizes that aggression on the side of Team Hoosh. And it looks like Cheese somehow gets the credit on that score. We'll see this replay.
Just barely going to be able to nudge it in there.
Oh,
Goes
Hey
right
Rico.
over Hey Rico. They didn't have the boost to jump up and answer that. So now we go to the next 50-50. Team Instinct 4-0. Pretty comfortable lead here with 1 minute and 48 seconds remaining. But Team Instinct does lose the 50-50, and Kill Squad gets that demo onto HB right there. Instinct is up on the wall, getting this in the air. Aerial play is where Team Instinct does best. They're going to head it. HB is going to just barely miss that shot. Team Hoosh just did an amazing job on defense. Now Instinct is rotating around the Hoosh goal, is going to get the ball passed back and forth between HB and Instinct. That is an empty goal. There's the score.
It is now 5-0 with less than 1 minute 30. It's looking grim for Team Hoosh. This might be done and dusted. Really, if you're Team Hoosh, you gotta throw everything you have at the wall. Any cool tricks, any duo plays. And it looks like Cheese actually will get that first knock. It's down in the middle. Hoosh is just trying to play defense here, though. This is not what Team Hoosh needs. This is what Team Instinct wants, is to be on the blue side of the map. And Instinct, again, is just applying so much pressure.
And the longer that Team Instinct is on the blue side of the map, the more likely it is that they can score. As you can see, Cheese almost did it right there, straight off the backboard. And with a minute remaining, Hey Rico's going to get the clear, but it is going to get blocked in the air. Team Hoosh does not have the follow-up, so it goes right back into the blue, though Hoosh is able to briefly take possession of the ball, just in time to pass it back to Cheese. And then they're going to go ahead and take that. It's back in Team Instinct's territory. Team Hoosh finally on the offensive here. Instinct themselves going to go out and block that and get demoed.
Yeah, and off-screen
score.
Camera, HB scores. This is now 6-0. This is an absolute slaughter here on the side of Team Instinct. And it looks like this is just an alley-oop. HB just gets that long-range goal. Beautiful arc. 6-0, about 30 seconds.
So as we get into these last 36 seconds here, Team Hoosh, again, is going to win the 50-50. They're not able to capitalize on the goal, though. They're passing it back and forth. They got it! Team Hoosh, that is one. The team play there, the assist, fantastic job. Team Hoosh is talking now, and that's exactly what we want.
Yeah, it looks like Hey Rico just barely nudges it in, and it looks like I think that was HB was not able to save it. So yeah, nice goal by Hey Rico. Looks like this kind of just goes wide. Cheese is looking to find some sort of angle. Hoosh knocks it away, and Instinct is just here to just juggle, just dribble. Beautiful positioning on that ball, and Hey Rico is trying to find something, but it looks like Orange is just playing keep away.
Definitely keep away in the air, and they're going to go ahead and try to get a score out of it, too. Just barely not going to be accurate enough. Maybe the communication wasn't there. It's going to go right over into the orange territory. Cheese being the only member left to defend. Who's just trying to keep this in the air, trying to at least get a score. Instinct answers back. This ball is still, and then it's going to go ahead, and that is going to be the end, with Instinct pretty dominating victory.
Oh, my goodness. If you look at the total shots by Team Instinct, you can see just... If you look at every player on Team Instinct, Cheese, HB, Instinct, they were all equally carrying their weight. This was just absolute domination by Team Instinct.
HB is definitely an up-and-coming player that we're looking at. All eyes are now on HB. We got to see what they can do, if they can continue to bring that amazing scoring ability into these next team fights.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the next round entails. So it's Team Instinct versus some other team that, and briefly, we will go into a commercial break.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. Tonight you are watching our Boise State Rocket League trials. We have had a mix of new and varsity players alike competing tonight to see who can get ultimate Rocket League glory and bragging rights, most importantly. And right now we are going to be heading into the third place match versus Team Baynock and Lions. So two teammates who have been around for a long time. Baynock and Lions have played before. Who is going to get the ultimate place on the podium and not walk away with nothing and have the virtual medal, so to speak? Where I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, to help you find out. And I am joined, of course, by Audrey Runa Norris to call all of the action for you tonight. So we kind of covered the beginning of this tournament. We kind of saw some great plays. We saw little mistakes. What do you think has kind of been the main separating line between the good teams and the really good teams that have made it to the finals now?
I think that the teams that have been like separated, like the biggest thing I've noticed is just like side control as well as just good team communication, because a lot of the problems that we've been seeing have been just from people like putting all of their effort and like boosts and like all of their players down on one side to try and get the goal, and then getting the other team just bonks the ball out and immediately is able to take it to the other side. And that has been, I think, one of the biggest problems for every team is just not watching how you're keeping your sides and rotations up, because the other team has just been able to always take it and just run with it.
Quick recap for all of you that are watching. We have a bracket to show how things have ultimately shaken out tonight. You can see it right over my shoulder there, but hopefully we can get a camera on it soon. To kind of describe the Boise State Rocket League trials, and believe production's been up to some shenanigans as well, putting the all-watching Shrek there in the upper left corner just to keep an eye on all the players, make sure everyone is playing correctly. Team Gill and Instinct are the ones that are moving on to the finals, whereas Baynock and Hoosh are playing our third place match. And who's going to win this third place match? Well, it's probably going to be the team that follows Doc's keys to the game most effectively. Doc's keys to the game in a Rocket League overall are brought to you by Drop-In Gaming tonight, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. You can play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. And some of Doc's keys to the game that we were talking about earlier, those are just clearing the goal out. Bump and demo to disrupt is often a common Doc's key to the game. Play off the walls. For tonight, though, it's a little bit simpler. Don't miss. It's just as simple as that. Don't miss. Click heads. Play better. Doc's keys. Sounds good to me. So we're ready to head into this next match. Like I said, it's Baynock versus Lions. It's going to be great for us, too, because we haven't seen Team Baynock or Team Lions. So it's two new teams for us personally casting.
Absolutely. We're going to get a nice, fresh, just experience with them. The other casters got to see what they're doing, but now we get to see as Lions just immediately starts us off with pushing to the other side, and we start to see the little bit of altercations back and forth as they're just trying to get... Oh.
I don't know. I think we might see a bit of shenanigans here, maybe a bit of practice for the other team. I mean, I know Lions is a good player. I don't know if he's this good and can just 1v3 them, so we might just have to do a tech pause. In fact, that is what we're going to do here. It's just the nature of a live event. Sometimes you have the wired gameplay, and then sometimes, no matter how good your connection is, it goes hotel Wi-Fi on you.
And sometimes, just the game decides that it's going to do something a little bit differently than it's supposed to. And whenever that happens, you just got to deal with it, roll, and continue on, which is what we'll do once we get these players in, so Lions does not have to 1v3 the other team.
I mean, ultimately, talk about a way to make yourself the legend of the whole night. I was the one who 1v3 Team Baynock and got the bronze medal for myself. I'm just shoving everyone else off of that podium and taking all the glory for myself. But we want to see the full 3v3, and we are getting word from production that the players are logging in as we speak, so we will bring you the action as soon as we can. And overall, as we get into kind of the higher ranked matches, these teams also have, just by the fact that they've made it this far in the tournament, have had a chance to play longer together, have worked out their communication errors. So I think we might be seeing some more aerial plays, some more mid-air passes.
Absolutely. That would be awesome. Rocket League, I think my favorite part of watching Rocket League is just seeing the solid aerials where one player manages to get the ball high in the air and another player is just waiting, ready, flipping, getting the ball straight into the goal. That's the best part of Rocket League for me whenever I watch it.
The best part about Rocket League is when the players are so skilled, they make the game look easy. They make it look easy enough that you can pick it up yourself and start playing. Oh, how hard can this be? It's car soccer. And then you actually play, and you're wondering, how many hours have they dumped into this game? Because I can't do anything.
Oh, definitely. I fell for that a couple weeks ago, and I was like, you know what? I played soccer. I was pretty good at that.
Yeah.
It's just cars. You can drive cars in soccer.
I've driven a car. I've played soccer. What more do I need? Well, there's a lot more than you need. Least a bit is a college trigonometry class to figure out all the angles here. Now, as we get ready to go into this game, Baynock is going to start things off great by pushing it toward the goal, but Lions back over to the side is going to try to clear things out. Playing it off the wall to clear, always a good option if you ask me. Over on to Rizky, almost getting another goal, and Lions with the third follow-up to get the opening for Team Lions in the lead.
Yeah, just a solid, just did not let them recover there as Lions again and again and again just pushed in with his teammates backing him up and getting that solid goal as we load in again to see who wins this next altercation. It starts off with Lions, but Popsor does manage to get past him and pass it to Zigpig, who does a solid pass, but Risky manages to bounce it off the top and prevent it from going in as they begin to push it to Orange Team's side. Baynock tries to go in, but Lions does not let him as they recover and push it back.
Popsor is waiting for the next play, but it gets played right over him while he slow plays. Baynock over to the far corner. Might try to steal the boost away from Team Lions. Zigpig unable to be able to waterfall that down into the goal. That opens it up for Lions. Gets pushed back over to the corner. Now another clear waiting. Popsor is just going to try to do it himself. But Ethan is right there to save and leave it for Lions. The redirects and the counterattacks are just insane. The clears are turning into their own shots on goal this round.
Yeah, Risky now moving in to try and push it out of blue team as the 3 orange players move in to intercept. Ethan comes in with a solid hit towards it, but Poposor just manages to push it away from him as Risky again tries to go for the goal.
Baynock to try to waterfall down off the backboard. Lions steals it away, but isn't able to set up for a clear as Zigpig still trying to keep the side control going. And the play, Baynock, what a beautiful redirect off the crossbar down toward the goal. But like you said, you've played soccer before, and like regular soccer and rocket soccer, it's soccer rules, and the ball has to be all the way across that goal line for it to count. 1 pixel, and you're not getting the goal.
Absolutely. Baynock going back in for another attempt as Lions is trying to defend, and same with Risky and Ethan just all coming in to defend and back each other up. Lions gets a nice hit off the top for a solid aerial setup. Unfortunately, no one is there to back him up as Baynock is able to recover the ball and start pushing it towards the orange team side. We get a looks like another demo off on Baynock as Risky tries to push in. Zigpig trying to bounce it. Same with Lions, bouncing it back and forth towards each other, just trying to get that opening as it goes back to orange team's side. Zigpig getting the bounce off as Lions again trying to set it up. Unfortunately, Risky was not there just in time as it got deflected.
And I think one interesting thing we're seeing about this game is This shows why it didn't show up in Doc's keys to the game tonight, because production wanted to be a little bit cheeky and be a bit too forward. But one of the normal Doc's keys to the game that we see is clear the ball at angles, because it makes it so much more difficult for the other team to just lob it back at you. And we've been seeing a lot of those straight clears just turning into this ping pong back and forth between the goalies. It's creating a lot of situations where you don't have time to respond before the other team is scoring on you. And talking about not having time to respond, I'm not going to be able to respond because Ethan is just going to play so quickly here. Just kind of juke out one player, juke out another. 2-1, that's a trade you'll take any time and get a goal to put you in 2-0.
Yeah, with a little less than 2 minutes on the clock, Team Baynock, it goes in trying to get the ball, but Ethan does not let them have it as he immediately pushes it in the air to try and set up for a goal. That Risky immediately tries to go for the shot. Unfortunately, there were 2 Orange members there blocking them. Lions again backing them up, but Baynock and Popsor are just not letting them have it. Pushing it back to the other side, Ethan again returns back to Risky, but they're just not in the right setup just yet, as Orange Team again just waiting for them to try and get that goal.
Orange Team wants to equalize this. They've had plenty of chances to do it. I mean, you look at the shots on goal, and Orange Team actually leads. Baynock Team leads. If I'm just to do some quick arithmetic, I'm seeing 9 shots on goal versus the 7 from Team Lions. But sometimes it is indeed quality over quantity when it comes to these shots on goal. The defense has just been there, but that's what you do to stop the defense. Clear out the goal with a demo. I love the teamwork and communication that I saw there. Papasaur sets it off. Baynock realizes that he's shooting in, clears out the goal. Beautifully played. We still got a game here.
Yeah, especially with a minute left on the clock, there is definitely a chance for Orange Team as they immediately get the ball under their control. Unfortunately, before Ethan does manage to get it back, Baynock pushing it forward back into Lions court, where Ethan bounces it off for another pass towards each other. And Baynock tries to recover it, same with Papasaur, and Zigpig does manage to pass it towards them, almost getting a shot into goal. It just bounced off the top right there as they again try to move it back towards blue side. Baynock contesting Lions there for a second. Same with Risky. Zigpig going for that last minute shot as Ethan pushes it forward back into where Popsor almost got it. And another close shot from Ethan there as they're just trying to volley it back and forth, hoping for those pot shots that they can get. Baynock setting it up again for another aerial. Ethan not having it as they push, and same with Zigpig and Lions right there.
Yeah, it's always a unfortunate scenario there when you're trying to elevate up. You have plenty of boost, but ultimately you just misjudge your aerodynamics and you just fall to the ground. Last chance for Team Baynock to even it up. As long as that ball stays in the air, the game will continue, and maybe they can get a buzzer beater right here. Wouldn't that be something? As it bounces off the backboard, Baynock tries to redirect it in, but it just drops down. But good on Team Baynock for trying to make that competitive to really the last moment. Another thing I like here is you're seeing a pretty good spread overall between activity feeds. I mean, Baynock and Lions obviously being the top players since they are on the Boise State varsity team. You can see that in the fact that we have pictures of them. But still, a lot of spread out between teams. Everyone's kind of giving in shots on goal. And I think that's showing that these teams are communicating well. They're calling out their plays. And they realize that anyone can be the person to make the play and get the goal.
Yeah, all it takes is that little window of opportunity for a player to be able to push in. Something I found really interesting while we're watching, as we were talking about how the comms were clearing and teams were getting a better chance to just play with each other the longer they've been playing, is we've noticed, like at least I noticed in these matches, we've been having a lot longer time between our goals as players have had to volley back and forth and just look for smaller openings as the teams have started to tighten their defense as well as their gameplay, which has been really cool to see. Just all the kind of like really short improvement, like so quickly. I guess really good improvement so quickly.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's kind of counterintuitive if you're completely outside of esports or even traditional sports. You know, if someone who has never seen sports before, period, were to look at a scoreboard and say, oh, the numbers are so high, that must have been a great, exciting game. Well, actually, sometimes the best games are the games where it's a 0-0 tie the whole time, and it's because both teams are so evenly matched. And I think we're seeing a lot of that here tonight. Lions and Baynock, they want to guarantee that they at least get that bronze medal, walk away with some sort of bragging rights, and Ethan is going to try to start things off nice with the follow-up by Lions, but both of them bounce it off the front post, and unfortunately for Team Lions, they're going to go scoreless. We'll see if Baynock can use that to find their clear.
Yeah, Zippig immediately goes in for an awesome aerial shot as Team Blue was trying to set up just a good shot. Zippig went right in and didn't let him have it.
Why do we call out back posts so much? Because if you were there, you'd be able to drive into that soccer ball and save it. But sometimes you just, sometimes in the heat of the moment of it, it's easy for us to call it up here on desk, but there are a million things you have to judge when you're actually playing the game. But I'm sure Team Lions, they've shown plenty of talent, and they can come back here trying to equalize, setting it up above the goal. It's up there for Lions, and Baynock, reading the play, is able to take it away before the shot on goal goes through.
Yeah, Lions bouncing it for Ethan. Unfortunately, goes right over the goal, and Baynock is able to push it out before they get the chance to recover. Risky is trying to get control of the ball again, so that way he can set up his team. And they do have some success before Baynock pops up again and just doesn't let him have it.
Yeah, see a live shot of the players. And, you were thinking if you see a live shot there that you'd see the players start jumping up and high-fiving. This just shows you how cool and collected they are.
No,
they're
they
just
are
like a goal.
serious and focused right now.
Yeah, equalizer. Okay, okay. We've reset the game. No big deal. Let's make the next play. And that's indeed what they're going to do. This first kickoff doesn't really go in either player's favor, but Baynock wins that 50-50. To set it up for Papasaur, actually, Zigpig is going to be the one that takes the play. Papasaur's still waiting, and I like that coordination, but it's not going to turn into a goal thus far. Both these teams really close, though, just waiting for that one little mistake to capitalize on.
Yeah, Baynock right now spinning the ball in the air, trying to get a good shot, but Risky did not let it have it, and Lions pushed it through as Zippig is trying to go in, but was unfortunately unable to get high enough to block that, as Lions was able to get a clean shot on the goal there.
Setting Zigpig up in a really tough position. I mean, you have to elevate up basically vertically or maybe do some sort of backflip. It's just really hard to stop all the momentum in your car and just change on a dime like that. It's a great pressure put on there by Lions. Zigpig is just going to try to maybe find a bit of redemption and just even this up right instantly. Popstar sees the play. It doesn't go through thanks to some defense by Lions. Zigpig again to try to waterfall it down, and Lions again as a menace on the defense is stealing it away from Team Baynock here and there. Knocks it off to the corner again, being a wall that Team Baynock can't get through and keeping Team Lions in the lead.
Yeah, Zippig now getting reset with Papasaur as Ethan tried to steal it but was unsuccessful, though Lions did manage to get a good shot there, but it did bounce off the top there. Risky gave a shot to Baynock, who is pushing it back towards the blue goal, and Ethan is trying to contest him, and Lions comes in to back him up as Papasaur is getting set up to try and block it, but unfortunately was just a little too far away to be able to bounce it back.
Oh, beautiful redirect toward the goal that would have gone in. Papasaur with the save. Keeping Team Baynock in, and look at that beautiful dribbling. He almost plays it around all of them. But it's always that one player, the last goalie, that stops you. But great effort by Baynock.
Nice setup from Lions there. Almost went in, but Baynock was there ready and waiting. And as Zippig tries to get another clean shot, Lions doesn't let him, but unfortunately does get demoed in the process. Risky again tries to go for it, but Papasaur doesn't let him, and Ethan goes for another volley as Lions again gets demoed twice in a row there with Baynock pushing it back. Unfortunately, Lions was there, respawned quick enough to be able to stop it. Tries to get a little setup there, but Zippig was there to block him as Ethan goes for a nice shot there that was blocked, unfortunately, by some other cars. As Papasaur tries to get the momentum away from Lions there.
Oh, Baynock, look at this. You're just going to show off and showboat like that. I see what you're trying to do, Baynock. Look at me. I'm the varsity player. I can just do the flippity-flop flip reset right into the goal. Well, you know what? If it works for you, all the more power to you. This game is tied with 1.5 minutes left. This is quite a bronze match we're having.
Baynock just decided to do a don't mind me, I'll go upside down there for a moment, as Lions is responding back though with some solid clean aerial plays, managing to juke out a few of the orange players there, though ZipPig does manage to get it away from him for a second. Ethan and the blue team does still have the momentum there, as Orange is just trying to get control of the ball. Lions makes a shot, is unsuccessful as ZipPig starts to take it down the field.
I will say it is interesting that we've seen Lions getting demoed so much lately, and I don't necessarily disagree with that sentiment, because Lions has been kind of the top defensive playmaker. As we see right here, he clears the ball out, tries to make it a counterattack, and gets the goal for him. I mean, he's too good. And if you're that kind of player, of course take him out. Get him out of the game, clear out the goal for yourself. Because if you let Lions have the ball like here, he's going to try to showboat just like Baynock.
Exactly. He's just going to try and float it all the way to the goal there, which he has been doing, and we'll see if they manage to keep doing that as they do start the first bout, which blue team does manage to get the upper hand as Risky tries to bounce it back, and Lions back on the ball, tries to get it back, but ZipPig does not want him to do what he did last time, so he pushes it away.
Bit of snafu there on trying to get the clear, so Lions is going to have to pick up the pieces. Team Baynock still same situation they were in last game, just one goal away. Opportunity to try tie it up and drive it into overtime. But as long as the side control goes in Team Lions, that's the dagger in the heart to crush the dreams of Team Baynock. What a play. Oh, that's talking. He saw the opening, the split-second opportunity he had, and he realized, hey, if I actually go for it here, these two teammates are behind me. There's no one on back post. I can succeed and get the, I can secure the goal and the win for us with a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, with 16 seconds, Orange team is just focusing on trying to keep it on blue team's side. Don't let them get that last goal within the, but unfortunately it doesn't work as Risky just sneaks in there, bouncing it in the corner there.
Didn't your parents ever tell you not to play with your food? This is just, give Team Baynock a break. They played their hearts out. They definitely, they were so evenly matched from this game. At least make it a 1-goal game. You know, don't make it a 3-goal differential here and just make it look like you were dominating the whole time, because that does not tell the whole story here. And I hope that Team Baynock at least gets one win here, because for the vast majority of this game, even I think the computer's lying to me right here. I mean, I'm not believing anything that I'm seeing here, making it look like it was all in favor of Team Lions. Team Baynock, for the vast majority of that match, was on even footing.
They had such good control of the ball at so many different occasions. I totally agree. Overall, that game was really solid with just the amount of aerials that we were seeing too, which is another thing that I started noticing, just an increasing amount from the earlier games as well, which is a lot of, like I said before, was a lot of fun to watch, because we got a few solid shots from both Lions and Baynock just spinning it into the goal there, and then a few from just people sneaking them in from the side.
But one thing I've noticed tonight, we've had a conspicuous lack of 4th games, and 5th games for that matter. It's just been like all sweeps. Or at least it's felt like all sweeps. Maybe we've had a 4th or 5th game in there, but at least from the time I've been on desk and casting, I want to see some more competitive matches. I want to see some overtimes. I want to see Team Baynock find what they need to ultimately drive this toward Game 5, because this is probably the closest I've seen the two varsity players. It's almost like we're seeing a competition between the two. Baynock will make this mini solo play, and Lions will go, well, okay, if you can do that, I can do it.
Absolutely. After all, this is the game to see who will take 3rd place, the bronze medal, and at least a little bit of showing for how they were able to manage their teams and work together there. As Baynock does go in for a first really solid shot, but isn't able to get it. Lions tries to recover it, while ZipPig and Papasaur try to catch it and prevent him from doing that, which Papasaur does succeed for a moment, doing a solid pass that Risky tries to move away.
ZipPig with another, is able to push it past 2 of them. Risky with a crucial last-minute rotation to push it off to the corner, but I thought that goal was open for sure. And you can see Team Baynock, it looks like they are hungry to just try to get the first goal. And a double commit on Team Lions is not what you want to see at this crucial juncture. Team Baynock might be seeing their opening and trying to capitalize on it. They're going to have to stop this counterattack from Risky. Papasaur gets a minor touch, but it's not going to be enough to push it back across the midfield. Now he takes it. That 50 is going to drive the ball off to the corner. Can they set it up again, or is Lions just going to make the solo play here? He gets it taken away. So it looks like we might have overall a really different story playing out. I think Team Baynock has realized, you know, for this vast majority of the match, they've been the ones trailing. They've been the ones trying to equalize. They want to be in the lead for once.
Absolutely.
No,
Unfortunately, Lions manages to get past them.
Why are you ruining the perfect storyline that I am setting up here? I need to have a talk with Lions just about building a storyline and how things need to build up to a climax and you don't just ruin it all at the very beginning, because I'm trying to make this competitive and I know Baynock and his team is too. And I'm gonna, you know, I know it sounds like I'm taking sides here, but sometimes it's fun to take a side.
Every now and then, you know, it kind of happens, especially when Lions just keep sneaking in there trying to get those aerials all on his own. Papasaur is going for a solid play there, but Risky was able to bounce it away from him. Zippig tries to go in for the recovery, but unfortunately Risky was too close to the goal for him to be able to stop it.
And I'd say just about 2 goals is kind of the threshold that we've seen for tonight. It's kind of the threshold if the other team is able to equalize or not. Once a 3-goal lead is gotten, it's really hard for the other team to stabilize. Sometimes the mentals get the pressure of you. It's the 3rd game, the last chance you have to stay in it. You've got to, you know, make up such a huge deficit, get the reverse sweep on top of that. And I think the thing you have to do in that case is don't do what I'm doing right now and looking at the path forward. Just focus on every single play. You know, think of the game as 0-0. You're just trying to make the next play. One big clear can change it. Like this clear right here coming out from Papasaur, except for Lions. Lions has always been kind of the spoiler, if you will, for Team Baynock's ambitions.
And there he goes again. Just another score, especially right as Baynock got demoed there and wasn't able to go help his team. Just another clean, quick pass into there. We're now at the 3-goal marker, so we'll see how this one plays out.
Look at Lions' activity feed. I mean, really? Really, Lions? Really? This is how you're going to end? I mean, I get it. You want the bronze medal. That's good for you. Just as a caster, I always like casting close games. I enjoyed the first few games that we played here. This one is a little less nail-biting, I'll just say that.
Though we have stopped going from playing with your food to just dominating now, unfortunately.
No, this isn't playing. This is dumping the food on the floor, stomping it into the ground until it's mush.
And then just walking away with it. As, again, Baynock trying to get another good shot on them, just doesn't want to go down without a fight. And Papasaur is helping him out, but Lions is trying to get back there to recover. Though, luckily, Papasaur did manage to prevent him from hitting it. They still need to get a little bit closer before they get that goal. Zippig is trying to set him up, but Risky isn't having it. And Papasaur again tries to bounce it, but Lions, there he goes in the air again, trying to get that shot. Luckily, Baynock was there to stop him. Did not want that to happen again, and he wasn't demoed this time.
Trying to dribble it up the field, just trying to get his team back in the running by any means possible. But Lions, you can't do this! Zippig, thank you for that save, because I was just about to send Lions to timeout. I mean, you know, he needs to go to his room and think about what he's doing here. He is just... Sometimes you got to remember the other team has families they need to go home to as well.
Absolutely. Oh, Risky again blocking them from getting another score. Lions does get demoed, though, so maybe that'll give him a chance to do something while he's in a different type of timeout than you were suggesting. But Ethan does manage to pass it to Risky as they get another score.
I'm just giving up at this point. I just, you know, this is the final straw. Team Lions, though, for all the joking I am doing, sincerely, congratulations, because you have been putting on a spectacular performance for this 3rd game, making it almost near impossible, I would say, for Team Baynock. I mean, if you're doing the math, that's maybe a goal every 15 seconds, every 10 seconds, even for the top professional teams. That's almost nearly impossible.
It's very tight, and Ethan is trying to set it up for them as, again, Orange Team's really trying their best to push it in, but like Risky and Ethan have been on really solid defense, letting Lions just push it forward every time. Baynock coming in, he's hungry for that goal. Unfortunately, no one was there to help him get that set, though Papasaur was able to deflect it and prevent them from trying to push it back to Orange Team's side again. Lions is waiting, hoping maybe he can get that aerial again. He tries to attempt it, but Papasaur does block him as Baynok goes in for a setup, which almost gets it as they get it. Finally, Papasaur is able to score with a clean pass from Baynok there.
And both of those shots were aimed so beautifully. I mean, it's slightly off for Baynok, but you see both of them are trying to aim for the upper corners of the goal. So hard to defend in that position. They finally saw the play they were looking for come to fruition. Fortunately for them, it's like every 7 seconds for a goal now. It's even
and
more. They would have had to get one directly off of that kickoff.
And with Lions just putting up the pressure again on their own goal, they're just going to really struggle here to even maybe make one, as Risky and Lions again pushing the ball to the other side as Baynox and Papasaur are trying to recover. Unfortunately, they just keep rebounding it back and forth as Baynok does get, well, tries to get it, but Papasaur is demoed in that last moment as Ethan pushes it back to their side for that last little bit as the ball has not gone down yet, but there it goes.
Wow, what a final play. And it just, I need to call the Boise Police Department. There's been a massacre on the field right now. But all joking aside, I love that match. Team Baynok, final game aside, they were always within 1 goal, almost drove it to overtime on multiple occasions. I wish I could give them a medal too, because there was definitely a lot of talent on show there. But congrats to Team Lions for ultimately getting the bronze medal and securing quite some bragging rights, especially, I wouldn't even show the whole game. I'd just show that last game if I was on Team Lions and say, look what we did here tonight. So overall, before we're prepared to close out our time here and leave it for the gold medal match, do you have any final thoughts on what you saw?
I think my favorite part about both of those matches was just the steady increase of the aerial shots as well as team plays as our matches went on. Just from like not even just Baynok and Lions, but every match that we've seen up to this point has just progressively gotten better at setting up their shots, which has just made the matches more entertaining. But not only that, it's made them last a little bit longer, I think, because they've started to try to do the finesse shots instead of just trying to boop it anytime they get the chance. Though the team's defense overall has also tightened up, so it's been really fun to watch the bounce back and forth as they're waiting for that perfect shot to get
Lions was insane on the defense is all I have to say about that. So gold medal teams who are about to fight, you've got your work cut out for you, because I don't know if you can top some of the exciting plays we saw in the bronze medal match. But we'll find out soon enough. We'll take a quick commercial break and be back with the gold medal match to see who is the ultimate victor tonight. You're not going to want to miss it.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Protecting your customer journey from fraud is critical. According to industry analysts, Count's AI-driven platform is the leading solution. From account login to digital payments, Count is recognized for both its customer impact and technology excellence. Learn more at count.com.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Hello and welcome back into the Boise State Esports Arena. Here we are here for the grand finals of tonight's Rocket League tournament. It will be Team Gil versus Team Instinct. Two of the teams that we've been seeing sweep all night, doing an overall fantastic job. But, I mean, they both just can't walk in here and sweep with the other. Someone's got to win, even though we expect this to be a very high-scoring game. There's the wave. I am your host, Colby, and with me is Noah. Our Rocket League caster is back, getting in some more reps. So, tonight, when we're talking about going into this game, the highest stakes game of the night, what do you think is important for players to focus on?
Well, I think, obviously, both these teams have proven that they have players that can show off, finesse, have those fantastic scores. But I think these teams are going to have at least like one player just kind of sit back, play defense to really prevent that from happening. Because if these big scores keep on happening, I mean, we're going to have 10 points on each side. I really think that those clutch saves are going to really be a factor here coming in versus Team Gil versus Team Instinct. We'll have to see, who chooses to do that, whether it varies for the round, how the game goes. But ultimately, I do think defense is going to be the big deciding factor here.
Fantastic. And just to walk you through a little bit more on what defense means, as we see the bracket here, Team Gil and Team Instinct have worked it all the way up. And, I mean, they definitely didn't get that way from running into defense, but something's got to give at this point, and this is a game where they're both going to have to adapt if they want to win. And like we were talking about, playing defensively, the main thing there is rotations. You want to make sure you're back in the goal right when they're pushing. You don't want to be back in the goal all the time because you definitely need to be there to assist your teammates in getting those follow-ups and scores like that. But somebody's got to be back there. Otherwise, we're going to be sitting here with a game with like 10 to 10, just like you were saying, and just still climbing higher first minute.
Yeah, I definitely do agree that those setups are important. Definitely both of these teams, especially if I can remember properly, Instinct had like huge shots where it was like set up by one of their teammates. So that will definitely come into play. I think it really will just be who has the better coordination, who has the better communication. As you said, those rotations, going back, going forth, just trying to, again, Doc's keys to the game, minimize that distance traveled, because ultimately the more distance you have to travel, the more catch-up you have to play, the more time spent not being next to the ball.
So just like you were talking about, Doc's keys to the game in Rocket League, it is minimize distance traveled, make sure you hit your shots, don't miss, and show off your skills. And Doc's keys to the game are brought to you by Drop-In Gaming. Drop-In Gaming is the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. To begin your competitive gaming journey, sign up at dropingaming.com. There it is, explicitly lined up for you. Right before we start in the grand finals, it does look like we have our players in position, probably getting in lobby now. How would you describe the overall feeling in the arena as we approach our grand finals?
I think it's hype. I mean, I'm hyped for these finals. From what I've seen, both of these teams are high octane, which I guess you want if you're playing with cars. Yeah, saw car and high octane, high tempo gameplay. So whoever can keep up that tempo, stay on beat, have good coordination with their team, I think that's going to be the defining factor. Definitely both of these teams are really good, way better than I could ever be. But you know, it's just going to be that little edge. Whoever can get that little edge is going to be able to succeed in this finals, grand finals, championship match.
Are there any specific players that you'd like to highlight that you think can be that edge, that driving force, the tip of the knife to win our grand finals here tonight?
I think Cheese is playing, right? Cheese is on one of the teams, Team Instinct, I think. I think Cheese, they step up. Team Instinct has it.
You think they're one of the new players to watch? I love that. Going for the Boise State new blood in here, giving them the kind of like the hype to take up the mantle and to take up doing all these amazing Boise State things. Looking right into the camera there as we get set up in this game. It does look like we're in lobby here, so we should be getting into the game very quickly. And final thoughts before we head in. I think this is going to be I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game, right? I think we're going to see a goal within the first 30 seconds.
30 seconds?
Would you say?
Let's see, over-under on 30 seconds. I would say I'm going to say 35 seconds.
35 seconds?
35 seconds, yes. You know, it's either going to be one of those 20-score games or it's going to be just both teams are making shots and they just both get blocked. But nobody's that good that you don't let in any goals. Somebody's going to have to get scored on. And
you're right. The one option that we didn't consider, the game goes into overtime 0-0 and first team to score at all wins. And so right here we are. Our 30 seconds are on the clock. We're going to see if it's 30 or 35 before the first goal is scored. Things are over in the blue. That was pretty close. Now we are over in the orange. Cheese, there's your player of the game that you're looking for. Get to send it back over. We're still in the blue. Team Gill is looking for a shot. Instinct is going to bump it. Wyatt is going to go ahead and take that over into orange territory. Cheese on the defensive.
Yeah, Cheese just knocks the ball away from Wyatt there, and it looks like this is staying on the orange side of the map. Wyatt's trying to make something happen. Styles comes in, but Instinct is here to just say, hey, get this ball out of my territory. Wyatt coming in, again, pushing it back. Gill, Wyatt, looks like they're trying to do some sort of coordinated play. It doesn't look like it will be set up, and Instinct just knocks it away.
And Instinct is going to try to get that goal, is going to be stopped by Wyatt and Gill. And now Gill is set up in the air doing some amazing aerial dribbling. Just love to appreciate that. It's going to get stolen by Cheese, however, and stolen back by Styles. So Team Gill was in possession of the ball, and now Team Instinct has it and is going over into the blue, trying to find that goal. But Wyatt is on the defensive, pops that up in the air, is going to keep it there. Instinct rotating back to defend.
Yeah, and I think both of our predictions were incorrect. This looks like it's just being a stalemate. And it looks like HB is just trying to make these shots here. Misses. And we'll see. He gets a third try. Third try's the charm, right? But looks like it's not.
Crossy MVP? I think that is the biggest thing that we've seen so far right now. That was just 3 shots that were blocked immediately after one another. HB's not done yet, though. They still want to make some of these shots. They're going to pass it over to Instinct, who has less people guarding him. Gill's going to block that. Not quite. Get the clear. Cheese is going to follow up on that clear, passing it back and forth. Wyatt is just trying to disrupt the ball and stop them from having a good shot on goal. So Cheese has to reset and see what they can do.
Yeah, it looks like this is maybe going to get set up for Cheese. HB misses on that shot, and Cheese maybe has it wide open, doesn't have the proper angle. Gill almost got that shot there, though.
That was almost beautiful, but just barely going to get saved. And now we are back still in the middle. Neither team really has a good shot on goal right now. It does look like things are heading over into orange territory. Team Gill is really looking to score here with 2 members in that back corner. Instinct just kind of playing the defense. They are going to get the clear all the way into the blue, almost touching that goal. HB doesn't have a shot, though. Ball's too high in the air. Cheese might, though, just barely going to go to the right. Going to miss that by a hair. Now Instinct is taking it over back into the orange, likely looking for that clear into the blue.
Yeah, and it looks like Styles is kind of just saving the game here for Team Gill, making sure that Cheese, Instinct, HB cannot score. It looks like this will go into blue territory. But again, Instinct had to make some shots there, and they just get blocked again. Wyatt just knocking this ball around, making sure that is staying away from blue territory as much as possible. And it looks like Styles is just kind of being that defensive player.
Ooh, almost
Gil!
not defensive enough, though. Cheese is going to come in there, and Gil's going to save almost the game because we're still at 0-0 with 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining. Just a little bit of a reset here. This isn't the high-scoring game that we thought it was going to be. It looks like it's the second option, where whoever gets 1 is going to win.
Yeah, this is how you know it's the battle of the finest. 1 minute 30 left, 1 minute 20, and we still have nothing to show for it. It's just been knocking back, knocking forth. Instinct looks like we'll get juked by Styles, and it looks like Styles is trying to set something up, isn't able to get it. Gil not able to find that shot right there.
It does look like now Orange Team is in possession of the ball. Wyatt's going to see what they can do, kind of rotating around for the defense. 1 minute remaining.
1 minute.
And 0 goals scored by these two high-scoring teams. Gil, fantastic aerial play off that side there. Just barely going to miss it. Setting up Styles.
Oh, Styles!
Styles is going to get it. And, I mean, if it takes them 4 minutes to get a goal, I think that's round 1.
It looks like Gil intentionally missed there, or let's just say it was, because Styles was there to, you know, play off of what Gil did.
Definitely. Gil did the setup, and Styles was the follow-through. That's the talking, the duo dynamic that we're looking for here. And in these final 44 seconds, definitely doable for Team Instinct to score a goal. They've
Looks
done
like
more with
Cheese
less.
trying to pass to Instinct. It will be there. HB's for the setup, so maybe they say we have a duo play of our own. HB a little too tall there
Just
on that ball.
barely crossy MVP. Instinct is going to set up that shot, going to get blocked by Gil, but Gil can't block
HB and
the second one.
Instinct.
That is 1-1. In the last minute of the game, things are getting really exciting. Right now, we're set up to go into overtime.
Yeah, it's it. They say, Team Instinct says, I see your duo play, and I raise you our own duo play. 25 seconds, 1-1. Will this be a score, or will this be overtime?
The 50-50 is going to go the way of Team Instinct, so they do have the first opportunity to make a play here. Instinct has the ball, trying to dribble it over, but there are members of Team Gil in the net, so this will not be an easy shot. Not even a shot at all, as Gil's going to take that ball, pass it right over to Wyatt. Wyatt's going to pass it back, and Cheese is going to go ahead and block that. And with 5 seconds on the clock and no shot on goal, that might be OT.
Oh, Instinct barely.
Almost.
Yeah. Almost, and it looks like it's evenly matched right here on that 50-50. HB is trying to set something up that will get blocked, knocked away by Wyatt. She's trying to play disruption, and it looks like Gil is just here to, oh, it looks like Styles stole the style points there. And again, this just looks like going back and forth, nothing really getting set up yet, but from either team, it looks like this will get pushed on the blue side. Wyatt's just there to save that.
So as the timer goes up, neither team really has a good shot right now. So we're seeing what we can do. There isn't a breakaway. There aren't positional mistakes to capitalize on just yet.
Oh,
there
Gil!
it is, though! Cheese is gonna get it! Just like seconds. Seconds is what it took. They were all playing good defense until Instinct got that pass to Cheese, and there it was. Gil couldn't get there in time, and that is round 1.
Gil's going to be thinking about that one coming into game 2 for sure. It looks like this is a domination game on the side of Team Instinct, even though the scores were so close. Look how many more shots, about 80% to 20%, 4 times the shots.
So because this game is so close, though, I think this means that Team Gil is overall the more accurate shooters, though Team Instinct is definitely shooting a lot more. And, I mean, it worked for them first round. So, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They could theoretically keep doing that, and just like we've been harping on all night, you can't win any of the shots that you don't take in the first place.
You stole my line. I was going to say, as a wise man once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but I think you summarized it more concisely. So, I mean, definitely, Team Instinct really going for those shots, not finding nearly as many of them proportionally. But again, all it takes is one shot to enter the goal. You just need that one shot advantage, and that's what it was. It was 2-1, Team Instinct. That's all they needed to win, went into overtime. So yeah, and again, it really was very close for a majority of that match.
Definitely the defensive game that we were worried about is actually the main game that they're playing, right? The rotations are on point. So what do you think Team Gill needs to do to kind of tighten it up and win this quickly?
I think Team Gill, they have really nice saves, but saves do not score you points. I think Team Gill needs to crank up the aggression here as we go into the game. We already see that Gill just knocks the ball away. Looks like he's trying to make an offensive play. HB knocks it away. It looks like Instinct's here for the follow-up. Knocks it away. Gill's here again just for the save.
As we can see.
Oh.
Ooh, just barely going to get that save there. Things are looking pretty safe right now. I don't think there's a current shot on goal just yet. No, they're passing it back and forth. They're really trying to do something to Team Gill right here. Team Instinct, Cheese is looking for that score, but with all three members of Team Gill on him, not going to be able to get that, so he's going to go ahead and pass that away. Now Instinct themselves has the ball. Looks like they're going to go ahead and miss that goal there, get blocked. Team Gill still playing the defensive game.
Yeah, Gill here on the back, and it looks like Gill and Styles, yeah, they're making these saves. Somebody needs to go forward, whether that's Wyatt or that's Gill, whether it's Styles. Somebody needs to go forward. It looks like it will be Styles, but he doesn't get the angle. Cheese is there to knock it away. Gill tries to find something. It goes too high. Instinct says, bring it back to your side, and it looks like the blue side is not getting the shots they want.
Ooh,
but it looks like I cursed it.
Set up for a perfect shot. Styles, that was amazing. That was a single tire hitting that ball right into the goal. Had an amazing
That was just the turning on a dime right there, hitting it with that tire, and there was nothing to save there. That was just beautiful shot.
What a goal one. And now as we go back with 3 minutes and 38 seconds remaining, it is up to Team Instinct. They're on the back foot, though with a round in their pocket, they can afford to make a couple of mistakes here with 2 members demoed, 1 on each side.
Yeah, looks like Styles here is just trying to slow the tempo of this ball down, trying to slow the speed of the ball down. Gill will just bounce it, get it in that corner. Looks like HB is trying to disrupt, get that out of the corner, and Gill says, I'll get it out of the corner, gets demoed. And Styles is just trying to play a keep away for to set it up for Gill.
We open things up though. Now it's in the middle of the field.
Geez.
That shot, Styles is just barely going to get there in time. But there is a follow-up shot made and subsequently defended against. There's the third shot. It is also going to, the defense of Team Gill is just on point right now, but Team Instinct isn't done yet.
You got 3 cars near the goal. What are they doing?
Defending successfully?
I guess so. It looks like Instinct, they're earning that 80% versus 20% right now, because it looks like just Gill, Wyatt, and Styles are just saying, hey, you're not getting a ball through. We'll see how that works, though. They are 1-0 up, so I guess if they do play defense, it will work out for them. HB, as we hold tab briefly, and it looks like HB is trying to get something, gets knocked up by Gill, and it looks like finally some blue side aggression.
As we see here, and blue side aggression is exactly what Team Instinct doesn't want right now, as Gill has possession of the ball. They are down 1 with 2 minutes remaining here. We head over into blue territory. Gill gets the demo onto Cheese. That is 1 less orange player on the board. Gill still having possession of the ball. Passes it right over HB. Wyatt is unable to get it themselves. That is Instinct and Cheese now in possession. No, Wyatt is going to go ahead and intercept that.
Yeah, Wyatt gets it. Nice defense, tries to get something on offense, and it looks like Team Instinct will miss the hit on that ball, but Styles almost gets that on Team Instinct right there. And Wyatt, again, just knocking it towards Team Instinct's half, so now it looks like the aggression has been swapped. Wyatt barely, but Styles gets it again with the setup, and now it's kind of a reversal of what we saw last time.
Styles likes to come in from across the map, just when nobody expects him to, just fly through and get that amazing goal, putting Team Gill up 2 to Team Instinct's nothing. That is 1 goal every 40 seconds, give or take, Team Instinct must do to tie.
1:20 on the clock remaining. Team Gill up 2-0. So they have a pretty comfortable lead right now, but not comfortable enough. And it looks like Wyatt's not even going to score. Instinct gets that. So I was correct. Not comfortable enough. They do not want that to happen again.
Wyatt just couldn't get there in time. They weren't expecting it, and they weren't ready for it. They didn't have the boost to really go through and stop that from happening. And so now with the next 50-50, we are reset with 1:12 on the clock. Team Gil only up 1 as Gil has possession of the ball. Instinct is going to take that away. They're kind of volleying it back and forth, playing a little bit of ping pong in the middle of the court.
Yeah, and it looks like Gil is just trying to get something set up, and HB just steals his lunge, pushes it over onto the other side, sets it up for Instinct, but Styles with a stylish save. Cheese is here to counter, though, and it looks like HB knocks it across, but Gil actually doesn't really get it across the map. Oh!
Ooh, but is gonna get the save. Just barely there, but they're not out of the woods yet. Team Gil still on the defensive from Instinct and Cheese. Scoring those goals. That first shot is gonna go wide. We're gonna see what HB can do, trying to set up, but there is no follow through. So Styles is just gonna go ahead and yoink that. And now it is Team Instinct on the, no, they're not on the defensive yet. There's nobody
Instinct,
there.
oh! Just barely not in the goal there. And as we go to 14, 13, 12, Team Instinct has to find something here, or this map is going over to Team Gil. It looks like this will be.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, there it is.
3-1.
mean, Team Gil is going to go ahead and get that extra nice bonus goal there at the end. A hat trick, no less. I mean,
oh, Styles, that was so good.
It wouldn't. We have 3 seconds remaining, so I think it's safe to say each team has a round at this point, right? But this is a best of 5. So each of them still has a significant amount of room for error, right? Neither team is in the position where they need to do nothing but win.
Yeah, and as we looked at the stats, this is much more evenly matched. Again, Team Instinct with that side control, but again, that side control doesn't mean anything if you're not able to get that scoring. I think Styles, especially that match, was able to really just defend that goal so excellently.
And also get the scores. Like, Styles comes from literally nowhere. Like, maybe rotating out of the goal. I have no idea where this man's coming from. It's just across the field, into the goal, sending it sailing 3 times. Very nicely.
Yeah, from downtown as he kick it. 1-1. We have a series on our hands. This isn't going to be a 3-0 stomp either way. So we'll have to see whether this is a 3-2, a 3-1, whether one team just pulls away. Because I would love to see this go 5 games. I think both of these teams are just phenomenal, very excellent.
So in this short break that the players have while they're resting, what do you think it is most important to focus on so they can get in the right mental frame to play the next round?
Well, I think that duo and trio synergy just needs to be there. Obviously, both these teams have 3 excellent players each individually, but playing together as a team to get that X factor, I think, Gil getting set up by Styles and Styles getting set up by Gil, and Wyatt's in there too as we go into the game. And obviously you need that from Team Instinct too. Cheese, HB, and Instinct all need to have that cohesion. They had that in game 1, but it looks like Team Gil came back in game 2 to even it up.
As we go here, Instinct is going to block that shot on the goal. Cheese is now just kind of running around seeing with Instinct. Wow, that was kind of schmoopsy. There were members in the goal. They just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, somehow. Let's see here. Instinct just gets that.
Right over.
And it's those clutch angles that really you cannot predict, you cannot account for. You just have to say, okay, that was a goal given, but now we need to get a goal of our own. We'll see if Team Gil can do that.
Gil does have possession of the ball, so we're seeing what they can do. It's going to send it over to Wyatt. Wyatt's going to send it back to Gil and Styles in the middle. Styles is going to be the one that takes it over. Think it pops up in the air. Instinct is going to get that side control. Of course he is over there. The ball is volleying right back and forth in front of Instinct's goal, right as Instinct themselves gets demoed. And at this point, we're heading over into the blue part of the field. No, we're still going orange. Gil hasn't given up on it yet.
Yeah, Gil just kind of choosing his movement very carefully, manages to get the ball knocked up in the air. Looks like Instinct is here, just trying to knock it in, and Gil knocks it away. This is now on the orange side of the map. Instinct, again, trying to make a shot. Styles is not able to save it, but it doesn't need saving because Gil's there to save it.
Styles couldn't get high enough, and that almost spelled disaster. Now Gil and HB vying in the air. Cheese is going to come back and spike it down. That looks like a goal unless somebody can get there. Wyatt's going to score it.
Cheese barely doesn't get the save, and Wyatt's there to score it. That's a heartbreaker. Oh.
Ooh, just barely. And you saw, that was a slow bounce. Just the little arc of, man, there's nothing we can do there to stop that. Resetting it to 50-50, 1-1 with 3 minutes and 41 seconds remaining. Still anybody's game as we head over to the orange side of the field. Cheese is going to get the ball taken from him. Instinct back in there to get that save. Comes right to him. We'll see if they're able to do it again. Nope, now it's this time HB is going to come in there. But Wyatt isn't done trying to score on this goal.
Yeah, let's see if Wyatt and Gil can do anything. The ball goes over to the blue side of the map, and Styles is just pushing it across. Ooh. Gets a nice dribble, but this might be HB. No, Instinct knocks it away. So good defensive play by Instinct. Doesn't really have the proper angle here to get a goal. Yep, it doesn't look like this will be anything. Gil just knocks it away. This will just kind of be a reset of the tempo here. Knocked over to the orange side.
Gil just barely needed to bump that there. Now Cheese has the little bit of a breakaway there. Instinct is not there to follow them up, but Wyatt is there to follow up Gil. That is 3 members in the blue side of the field there. Instinct is going to try to send the ball over, but is going to trust his teammate HB to get that clear right into Styles.
Yeah, it looks like Styles here is trying to do something versus these 2 players in this corner. Ooh. Oh, Wyatt almost gets the shot, but it gets knocked away. You hate to see it. And it looks like HB, is going for that goal. Isn't able to find the angle. Only one, but Instinct dribbles, tries to fake out something here. Almost has the angle there.
Just barely going to go right. So close. And they don't have a second follow-up on the... Wyatt is looking for the follow-up there. Going to do it themselves. Not quite as good. HB is going to get that defense there. Instinct now in possession of the ball, but Styles is going to knock it away. It's in the air. It's anybody's ball right now. It's Wyatt's ball. That shot on the goal is going to go a little bit wide and right into HB's hands.
This is a perfect shot for Gil, but it's just a little too high.
And
Cheese knocks it away. Blue side, Wyatt, Instinct. Looks like Wyatt was not able to get the ball to the other side there, so this will remain on blue side until Gil and Wyatt knock it back. Instinct tries to find something, just knocks it into the center. HB just knocks it up, but that's not towards the goal.
Now as we go in here, they're kind of bouncing it back and forth. There is a shot on the goal. Instinct is there to immediately send it back. Styles trying to set Gil up in the middle, but Instinct really doesn't want him to do that, trying to disrupt wherever they can. Gil still really wants to try to get this shot, though. Needs to set up one of his teammates. Instinct is going to take that right over there. And Styles is going to get a shot, but it's going to get blocked.
Yeah, this is looking like the Instinct versus Gil show right now, this match. And Wyatt isn't able to find the goal. It goes too high. It looks like HB whips on that jump there. And Gil sets it up for that goal.
Barely touched.
Takes advantage of that miss there by HB. Styles gets sets up Gil just for that goal.
Barely touches it, changes course of the ball. I swear, these players are all physics majors because just the little touches and the way they change the direction of that ball. 56 seconds, Team Gil is up. They might have this over Team Instinct. Team Instinct really needs to go on the aggressive right now.
Yeah, as we go 50 seconds into 45 seconds, Team Gil up 2-1. We'll see if Team Instinct can even it up because they might be sweating now. They don't want to go down 1-2. Nobody does. Nobody likes to be a loser in a series. And now, as we see HB, Instinct, all of Team Instinct just trying to find something, this might set up Team Gil to get a free open goal here. Gil isn't able to find the angle, though.
Passes it right to HB, though, and then gets demoed, leaving Team Instinct with the advantage here. Instinct is setting up a shot. Almost there. Styles was there with the save when everybody needed him.
Yeah, Instinct almost had the shot, but Styles comes in clutch. 5 seconds, we'll see if something can be done. But this is on the orange side of the map. This is looking like Team Gil will go up 2-1.
So, turned it around. And as you can see here, now it is Team Gil that has taken overall more shots than Team Instinct. They've improved their accuracy, but they've also improved just the total amount of shots, which is a recipe for disaster for Team Instinct, who really only had one major player that was making shots.
Yeah, and also if you look at the side control, 60% now for the side of Team Gil. And I could really feel that pressure that Team Instinct was facing. Just watching, it looked like Team Gil with Gil and Styles and Wyatt were just really just dominating that side. It didn't seem like Team Instinct had that aggressive map control. And we'll see if that changes in the 4th game or if this is going to be a 3-1 for Team Gill.
So what do you think is the most important thing for Team Instinct to get back? Because they were the ones that won our first round. What were they missing in that last game?
I don't think the clutch factor was there in that 3rd game. It really felt like they were just trying to keep up with Team Gill. I think Team Instinct needs to play their own game. They need to go for it. They need to go hard, and they need to go fast. They need to go for those shots, and they need the clutch factor from every player, because right now it looks like Team Gill has that clutch factor.
Definitely. Team Gill has made some massive improvements, even taking side control from Team Instinct that was so dominant before. Now Instinct themselves are in control of the ball. They're going to go over there. Gill is going to be unable to block that, but still end up in possession of the ball, pop it up in the air, trying to set up Wyatt there. Is just barely going to get circumvented by Cheese there, sending it right back to Instinct. Now Instinct versus Styles, that's an open goal. Gill's going to get there just in time to get that clear and send it back over into Orange.
Yeah, Instinct keeps on trying to find these shots, but Team Gill is not letting him get an opening. Just Wyatt, Styles, Gill, all 3 of them are saying, Instinct, you may have those phenomenal shots, but we have the phenomenal blocks. HB, we'll shoot this towards Styles. This is going too high for any shot to be made, maybe, and it looks like a shot. Orange team does get missed. Cheese is here for something, and maybe find something, but Styles, again, is just denying everything.
Just a little bit too high there, but also HB was in the goal. So Gill is going to take that right back over to Instinct. This is the 1v1 we've been waiting for. Quickly going to end up getting cleared by Wyatt over into the Orange. There isn't a shot on the goal right now. Styles is looking for some follow-up, and Wyatt is trying to set him up, but it looks like Team Instinct is just going to go ahead and seal that.
Yeah, let's see if Styles can save something here. Oh, Instinct doesn't get the elevation there, isn't able to send it down, just sends it across. And now, speaking of sending it across, Gill sends it across. Instinct is there for the save, or at least the position. We'll see if Team Gill can score in this. It looks like they are taking an aggressive stance. Gill tries to get in that corner, isn't able to find the angle. This is going back onto the blue side. Cheese is looking for something. So many cars in the corner. And Wyatt just gets the knock up, sends it across. Looks like we have a stalemate.
HB, though, going to make that shot just slightly too inaccurate. Goes right into Styles' hands, up in the air. We're seeing what we can do. Cheese is going to try to intercept it, pass it right over to Gill. Now it is Gill, Instinct in the middle, in the air over there. Neither one has... HB is going to be the follow-up that Instinct needs, and now things are over into the Orange side of the field. Gill is unable to get that setup for the score, and it's back to square one in the air.
Yeah, but I think Wyatt, Gill, and... Oh, well, so much about Wyatt. He got demoed. But Gill and Styles looked like they almost had some sort of setup there. Oh, Cheese isn't able to get the hit there. So this is just going to go towards the blue side of the goal. And HB manages to thread the needle there somehow. We'll see how this happens.
Cross maps it. Look at that. Gill didn't have quite enough boost to get that high, and HB's like, yeet, right into that goal. And Team Instinct 1-0. With the way these games have been going, I don't know if Team Gill has this round.
Well, I mean, it's 1-0. It's still got 2 minutes, 30 seconds. But that was just a phenomenal shot. That angle is just so perfect. It looks like Cheese is just playing back, trying to find something. And this ball is going pretty slow right now. Cheese doesn't actually get the hit there. This is going towards the blue side of the goal, so maybe Team Instinct is getting that dominance again. Gill just trying to knock it away from his goal. And Team Instinct looks like they are playing the wider stance here.
HB is unable to set it up, but Cheese is going to try to get a setup. Gill is going to go ahead and deny that. Instinct still looking for it, trying to set up HB. HB is just going to miss. And then it's going to be right back into Instinct's hands. Team Gill really needs this clear, though. They've been able to block the goals, but they haven't been able to stop the pressure.
Yeah, look at this, like 3 cars towards the goal. That's too high. Styles tries to find a save, though, but Instinct just kind of baits him out, and maybe this sets up something for Cheese, but no, Wyatt says, back to your side, boss. And now we'll see if Instinct can get a second shot here. And it looks like Wyatt, again, is just playing Disruption. Oh, beautiful save there by Team Gill.
Get there in time. Now as we're up in the air, Gill is passing it back and forth. Gill and Instinct on the ground. It's up in the air. HB's looking for some follow-up. Isn't going to find it. So Styles is going to go ahead and get that steal. Instinct is trying to set themselves up, but there is no teammate. He doesn't need one. He does it himself. That is 2-0.
Yeah, if we look at Instinct here, goes on top of the roof and just knocks that ball down not once, but twice to get that goal.
Both taps coming from the same card. Definitely seems to be working for Instinct here. Team Gill has 30 seconds for each goal if they want to tie.
Yeah, 1 minute remaining here. Team Instinct up 2-0. We'll see if Team Gill can find anything, but really, Team Instinct, all they have to do is play keep away as Cheese is doing. They're not in any rush to hit that ball anywhere.
Instinct does have possession of the ball, trying to set up Cheese. You see the two of them split there. HB popping it up in the air. There isn't follow-up except from Gill. Gill's going to go ahead and block that goal and send it right into Instinct's hands, but the clear does still happen, sending it over into orange. No, back into blue with Styles in possession.
Yeah, and it looks like a demo here sets up HB maybe to find something. It looks like Gill just knocks it away from the goal, but there's no goal potential here unless somehow Gill manages to find a beautiful dodge and setup. And there's 12 seconds left. I don't think that's happening. I think we're going to a Game 5, folks.
Definitely, and that's exactly what you were looking for in the first place. So Team Gill and Team Instinct, 3 seconds preemptively, are tied up here. I mean, there it is. It's confirmed. They're tied up. Both of these teams have improved. And both of these teams, at this point, have been playing for several hours. So let's talk about the stats first, and then let's talk about maybe a mental reset.
Yeah, speaking of mental resets, if you look at the total shots, this is looking like Game 1 all over again, but this is even more dominant. Only 13% on the side of Team Gill for total shots. Like, if they want to score goals, they are going to need to increase that. And also the map control went over to Team Instinct once again. So this is kind of looking like the Team Instinct from Game 1, the one that was really just kind of pressuring Team Gill into that goal. And you could really see it. There were several times that match where you saw 3 cars right next to the goal for Team Gill.
So at this point, they've been playing for hours. Fatigue is kind of starting to set in, and we see it at least a little bit on Team Gill with the amount of shots that they're not being able to take. What do you think is the most important thing competitive gamers need to do to kind of stop this fatigue from happening?
I think it's a little cliche, you know, stand up, get some water, you know, maybe stretch, get a little yawn, talk to your teammates, you know, crack a couple jokes. Just reset that mental, but also if you're resetting that mental, it resets the physical a little bit, especially standing up, getting a new posture, getting a new perspective, maybe change your chair positioning. Just something to make the factors different for this last round.
Team Gill's back. They crack their backs like a glow stick, and they're in possession of the ball. Kind of things are bouncing back and forth in the middle right here. Styles, there's going to bounce up on the side. It's still, no, it's going back into the side. Neither team really has a shot on goal just yet, but Team Gill is trying to set something up on Team Instinct. Just barely going to miss, though.
Yeah, and it looks like HB just barely saves it. Gill, again, just going for that aggression alongside Wyatt. Wyatt's not able to get the shot. Gill tries to get the shot, but HB saves it. That was beautiful, and it looks like Instinct is sending it over to the blue side for something. We'll see if this is going to continue. HB is trying to find something. Just plays his cards right, but is not able to get it. Gets saved by Gill.
Just barely the mechanical skill to turn at that short of an angle wasn't there quite yet. And now Wyatt is going to pop that up into the air. Cheese on the side, though, popping that up even further, sending it right back to Styles. We're still on the side here. Instinct is trying to set themselves up from a goal from the roof.
Oh, Instinct just barely a little too tall there. And again, so many near misses.
Just a little bit too high. Crossy, player of the game. That's my nomination right now. Lots of goals have been blocked. HB, we're still sending things over on the side. Instinct sends it up, but there is no follow-up except from Instinct themselves. Now Gill is in possession of the ball with Styles. They're both trying to do something. Going to send it right back to Instinct. This is a ground ball right now, and nobody's really having follow-up for their shots.
Yeah, 3 minutes, 30 seconds, a little less than that. And every time Team Instinct tries to make a shot, it looks like Gill there is saving it for Team Gill, as his name would suggest, and just really is the backup to make sure that no goals are being scored this early in the game.
And I do think that maybe Team Gill could do with a little bit more aggression, because so far it's only been 1 or 2 members that are needed on the defensive. They could afford to have somebody aggressively positioned, which is
speaking of aggression, Styles and Gill set it up.
I mean, it's like they heard us. Styles and Gil. That is what Team Gil, I think, has over Team Instinct. They're doing things cooperatively in duos, as opposed to Instinct doing the phenomenal dribble across the entire map solo.
Yep, 3 minutes here, and Team Gil is up 1-0. We'll see if Styles can set up something like that again, or at least somebody from Team Gil, because that was a phenomenal shot. Instinct isn't able to actually get contact there.
So as we go in here, Styles still doesn't know the ball, going to send it right over to HB. Styles is trying to set up somebody for a goal because he doesn't really have much of a shot here. Wyatt over in the side with Cheese. Gil is going to try to get that clear. Instinct is there to defend. Boost is pretty even on both teams right now, so they both have potential to make a play or defend. Styles not going to quite get that ball up that they need from Wyatt. Gil trying to set it back up, though. Team Gil still has the ball.
Yeah, and it looks like Styles is really just kind of feeling his mojo, what he was feeling in games 2 and 3, and just getting that aggression there. Actually, as I say that, he completely whiffs on the boost, but he is really just kind of playing around in this orange side in enemy territory. And looks like Team Gil's trying to find some sort of shot, and Gil just forces it in.
Gil's just like, I'm going to take your car with the ball in the goal. And that's exactly what he did there to Instinct, HB, and Cheese. Cheese is the one that got phased through there. Fantastic job. That is Team Gil up 2 to Team Instinct 0. That's about 40 seconds each for Team Instinct to make 2 goals to tie.
As we cross the 2-minute mark, Team Instinct has to find something if they are going to stay in this 5th game. Again, this is the last game. This is for all the brownie points. And Cheese isn't able to find that shot. He's trying to find something. He's trying so hard, but he's trying and failing, and HB doesn't get the right angle.
So it's going to go straight up into the skybox, and it's straight back down and almost into Team Gil's goal. Team Instinct is still there, battling the ball back and forth. Gil's going to send it right back up into the skybox again, and it's going to fall down. And Team Instinct doesn't have a setup to score right now. They're trying to get themselves kind of like now prepared to defend because Team Gil has cleared it all the way over and touched their goal.
Team Instinct,
almost.
Just barely. But Team Instinct cannot afford to play this sort of vertical game. They need horizontal gains here because they need to score. And HB looks like they're trying to find something, but I guess no boost left. Isn't able to find that shot, and now Gil just sends it over. And as we cross a minute mark, this is looking very desperate for Team Instinct.
So, this is now 20 seconds per goal with 45 seconds remaining. Tall order for Team Instinct, and with every second that goes down, Team Instinct is getting more and more uncomfortable.
Yeah, and Cheese is just trying to find some sort of shot, but Styles says, I don't need to have beautiful defensive plays, I just need to keep the ball away. And this is going towards Wyatt. That is not what Team Instinct wants. Cheese is finding some sort of shot, but it's just to get ground. It's not for an actual shot, but HB, oh, that's a heartbreaker.
You can see Team Instinct cracking a little bit under the pressure there. That shot just barely going wide and almost giving Team Gil the counter shot and the counter score in these final 10 seconds here. Team Instinct trying to send it up in the air as hard as they can, but there's Team Gil almost gets an extra one in the final 5 seconds.
Yeah, but that's going to be Team Gil 2-0 in that best of...
Oh my gosh! Well, okay, so it's not for the winning goal, but it's the feel-good goal.
It makes you feel a little bit better. This was a very close series. Even this last game, going to 5 games, 2-1, you can feel pretty all right if you're Team Instinct about that.
So, even though Team Instinct did end up losing this final match, they took more shots and had more side control. So again, it was back to Team Gil with the accuracy. But back to Team Instinct for a second. They they lost the overall championship, right? But I do think, I have to say, Team Instinct won the moral victory with that amazing single-second goal.
I think you could say that. But also, I really think that Team Instinct played a phenomenal match of Rocket League this entire series, especially in this best of 5. That first game was an absolute just domination, and then Team Gil, yeah, they came back, but then game 5 was what we all wanted. Even in the stats, it was pretty even. It wasn't one team got dominated, another team just was dominating. It was that best of 5 match that everyone likes to see, where it's just struggling back and forth where you can really just feel the sweat dropping down from the players' foreheads.
It came down to micro mistakes and I think a little bit of fatigue from just playing so much Rocket League under relatively high pressure situations. I mean, these teams are very even and it took everybody's all to even get this far. And before we get to our player of the game, do you have any specific nominations that you would make?
I'm going to say for player of the game or series, whatever we're calling the match, I want to say Styles. I really think Styles was kind of just making sure as we hear cheers, as we hear cheers, I really loved how Styles was playing. When that one goal, when Styles just absolutely smacked that ball just to set it up for, I think it was Gil to get that goal, that was phenomenal. I really think Styles played a really good game.
Would you say that he's stylish?
I think I already made that joke, though. Sorry.
You know, I mean, doesn't hurt to do it again. So you're going to go ahead and nominate Styles. I can't nominate a pair, but so if I could, my nomination would look different. I'd like to, as a solo player, recognize Instinct. Because I do think, even though they ended up losing, we saw some of the greatest mechanical Rocket League skill of the night come from Instinct. And while I do think it was a little bit to their detriment that they weren't able to get the kind of duo cooperation that some of the other teams had, we have some amazing dribble plays, aerial dribble plays that are fantastic here. So we're going to go ahead and see who our player of the game is. Am I being baited? I am being baited. It is going to be HBN there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, HB also played really good Rocket League, had really nice scoring. Just like that, threading the needle, was able to find those angles, just wasn't able to find as many angles in that final series. But again, you can't win them all, or even if you do, at some point you lose eventually. But HB, just all these goals are just so spectacular. These are just inches where HB finds the right angle.
And the ICCU Player of the Game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. HBN is the Idaho Central Credit Union Player of the Game of a phenomenal Boise State night of Rocket League. We definitely have lots of data to work with and lots of new players to watch.
Yeah, I am definitely excited to see how these players progress, whether we see more of them or if this was just one and done for them. I don't think anyone can be disappointed from their performance in any of these matches. There were good players, and there were great players, and there were exceptional players, but I don't think there were any bad players. The Rocket League played today was just such an excitement to watch.
And I do think, like you touched on, there was quite a bit of individual range that you were talking about. There's definitely lots of room for improvement, and definitely just some players that kind of can show you how it's done tonight. So before we close out with our top 5, are there any big takeaways that you have?
Well, I've definitely learned a lot about Rocket League as I've been spectating and watching and casting all these games. I saw how much that Rocket League is a team game. I saw how much coordination it takes to just make those shots, and this really is a game decided by inches, decided by just who is that little bit more clutch, has that, just that extra good positioning. It really is just whoever is just barely better.
Fantastic, and barely better feels like a really good way to describe especially that last game that we just did. And tonight we'll close out with our Idaho Army National Guard top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by, of course, the Idaho Army National Guard, with over 10 jobs offering a $25,000 bonus in scholarships and your degree of choice paid for. The Idaho Army National Guard is the best team to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. From all of us here at Boise State, we'll see you again next time, and have a good night. Still over here in the blue, we're looking to, Instinct is looking to make this goal.
Yeah, and it looks like Instinct and his team is just playing with this food. HB, NNS manages to get the score while Instinct distracts. I think that was beautiful coordination right there. Gets the detonation. Beautiful shot.
Instinct HB is the new duo. I mean,
like prevent them from getting just a nice, easy, clean shot out there.
Gil to dribble up the field with the pass over to Styles. It's beautifully played. Pure teamwork. Picture perfect. This quick flick, the give and go. Durtho trying to save
there. That would have been a nice morale boost. 1 minute remaining. So we'll see if Team... And it looks like Team Instinct just explodes this lead. I don't see any way Team Hoosh makes it in less than a minute for this second game.
They really do need to try to do something, though.
Tall there on that
Just
ball.
barely crossy MVP. Instinct is going to set up that shot, going to get blocked by Gil, but
Oh,
HB
and Instinct!
That is 1-1 in the last minute of the game. Things are getting really exciting. Right now, we're set up to go into overtime.
Yeah, it's it. They say, Team Instinct says, I see your duo.
Gil gonna try to dribble it around. Durtho sneaks it by Jew. Expertly played. Not even needing any elevation. Just does a little bit of a slide into goal. Finds the equalizer for Team Gil.